Another day in paradise. It's warm outside, certainly mild inside Chase Field, but it's warm inside in some ways, shapes, and forms because the Diamondbacks are playing very solid baseball for the first time. In 2009, they are on a streak 5 games long filled with victories. The Florida Marlins come to town. They're in second place in the East, and they offer an awful lot with regard to battles for these Diamondbacks. Hello, folks. Welcome back to the ballpark. Trust your week to this point has been a good one. He is Mark Grace. My name is Darren Sutton. Glad to have you with us. Part of the 5-game winning streak has been a couple of guys talking about Miguel Montero and Gerardo Parra, countrymen of Venezuela. They have both been white hot. Now, Montero will pinch hit tonight. He gets a night off, but both huge contributors in that 5-game winning streak.
Yeah, these guys are young. They've still got a lot of energy, and they're bringing that energy night in and night out. Miguel Montero, in Chris Snyder's absence, has been terrific. He's caught every single game. He's going to get a night off tonight, a well-deserved night off, and Gerardo Parra has been just red hot. He has hit the ball so well since he's been up to the big leagues, but it's been Montero and Parra, and they've been leading the charge in the absence the last few days of Mark Reynolds and Justin Upton.
The interesting thing about Parra is he dipped a bit, and you thought maybe he was going to hit the wall. He didn't. You can see hitting 600 is not hitting the wall at all, and Parra certainly has had timely hits the entire time he has spent in the major leagues. We reach this point in the season when we're just about at the All-Star break, and you start to think about where would this club be with Brandon Webb. They have been without Brandon Webb all season long. They maybe hope to have him in September. Look, this guy has always been in the Cy Young race his entire career.
Yeah, this is a guy that every single time he takes them out, at least in the last 3 seasons, you just knew you were going to win the baseball game. You didn't have to score many runs to win that baseball game, and that takes a lot of pressure off of the offense. And then, whoa, look at what happened in the absence of Brandon Webb, Billy Buckner, Brian Augustine, and Yusmeiro Petit. It has not been much fun every 5th day for those 3.
Petit is on the mound tonight. Big shoes to fill. These guys have blisters right now. They're not filling those shoes at all. They're walking barefoot on glass and on hot concrete here in Arizona. Let's hope that things can get a little bit better. Well, the votes are in, and you guys did a fabulous job. Mark Reynolds, you moved him up to 3rd. That's where he finished. He wants to thank all of you. Todd Walsh will explain when we come back. USPS, the official power partner of the Arizona Diamondbacks, and by Southwest Airlines. They're ready when you are. Go to southwest.com, grab your bag. It is on.
And welcome back to Chase Field, just moments away from first pitch. Diamondbacks and the Florida Marlins. Darren Sutton, Mark Race have the call, but first we must take a moment to digest the events of today. The results officially certified a little after 2 p.m. Arizona time for the final vote going to the All-Star game for the National League. It will not be Mark Reynolds of the Arizona Diamondbacks. He finished third behind Shane Victorino of the Philadelphia Phillies, who surpassed Pablo Sandoval, who was trying to go wire to wire in first place. And look at that, an all-time final vote record, over 68 million total votes cast. This thing took on a life of its own, and earlier today, our own Mark Reynolds gave us his concession speech.
It was fun. It was fun to be around and fun to have all the fans behind me. And I know a lot of people put a lot of time in on the computers to vote, and I appreciate it. And hopefully next year or years to come we won't have to worry about the fan vote. Hopefully I can just make it. It means a lot to the fans are one thing, but have your fellow players supporting you and thinking that you deserve to be there is huge. And JF, I think he got the fan vote or the player vote into the game, and that's almost as big as being voted in by the fans. And it means a lot to have your peers think you're deserving. And I know like Heron and Dougie and a couple of those other guys were in there in between innings voting for me at the game last night. So to have the support's great, and I just want to say thanks to everybody.
There is an empty feeling after an election like that. I'm just going to head to the private sector for a while. But first things first, we got a game tonight. Can the Diamondbacks put together a 6-game winning streak? We'll find out together in moments.
Past the midway point in the week, you're enjoying a good one and looking forward to the weekend. Ready to go for Freddie Gonzalez. We will hear from the skipper of the Marlins throughout the series. Nice conversation today. His lineup has been struggling offensively. Chris Coughlin, Emilio Bonifacio, Dan Uggla. It's Cantu, it's Ross, it's Hermida, Baker. Wes Helms is at third base, and Andrew Miller. And
my guy, Wes Helms.
Oh, he's in the lineup today. We're underway. Yusmeiro Petit over the outside corner with strike one. The numbers on Petit in AAA and in the big leagues, it's been a tough go of it this year. Both stops for the right-hander, an important start for him overall. That one belted center field, slicing away from Chris Young. Young runs it down. In the center of the defense is Chris Young. Let's take a look at the rest of the D around him. With Parra and Upton in the outfield. Stephen Drew gets the day off. Lefty on lefty type matchup plus a day. And Luke Harlan gives Miguel Montero, simply put, just a day off. Chris Young manning center field, and he will be important. Tony Clark, switch hitter, right-handed batter against a tough lefty in Andrew Miller. Luke Harlan, a switch hitter as well. Former Diamondback Emilio Bonifacio. Boy, does he create a, well, to steal a term from Rich Dower, he creates an alien defense out there. Reynolds way in because of the bunt ability.
See, he has to be way in. Both corners have to be way in. And that's what you want him doing. You want him to hit the ball in the air.
What a play by Mark Reynolds, up against him, nearly over the rail. He was in. Because of that, he had to run an extra 10 yards to make that play.
No all-star hangover because he didn't get in. Well, he just goes over and makes a super play. Nearly falls in. That's a little help from security officer there, but a super play there by Mark Reynolds for a big second out.
And again, it was a further trot, if you will, because you can see where he is now. He's a good 10-15 yards back of where he was playing on the grass. Gracie, where was he in the beginning for the
right in there?
Bonifacio, right up close.
Right up close. That's how far he had to go to get that ball. Great play.
The 0-1. You love Petit down there. He's a fly ball pitcher, gets in trouble with home runs. At the knees is where he has to live.
Yeah, if he can keep it down there, boy, he's going to have a terrific night. Jumping ahead, working fast, throwing strikes. That's good to see.
The 0-2 to Ugla. Not a bad idea. A curveball, doesn't throw many of those. Just shows it to him away. Ugla with 16 home runs, 49 batted in. Hitting just .223 though is Danny. That one misses. 2-2 the count. Florida Marlins are a team that they spike and then they fall and then they spike.
Yeah.
Real streaky.
Well, because they're so young. It's tough for the youngest team in baseball to just consistently put it together, especially with the pitching staff. They've got some good young hitters. But young pitchers tend to ride that roller coaster.
Good pitch, a fastball away, had him reaching 88 miles an hour. Will he get much more, as you see Bonifacio looking on? Will he get much more, Mark Grayson, 88 miles an hour?
No, I really don't think so. That's about the extent of the fastball. Maybe every once in a while he'll get closer to 90, but that's about the norm. Nice pitch there, a changeup. And Augie Ojeda, for some reason, got caught napping. He stayed back instead of coming and charging the ball, and that's going to be a base hit, but that's a mental error there by a veteran shortstop. The ball's hit slowly. Watch him stay back. He decides to stay back instead of come get it, and Dan Ugla, running hard all the way, beats it rather easily. So a big mistake there by a veteran.
You're talking about these Marlins, the average age of their batters on the team, the offensive players, 26.8 years old, the youngest, as you mentioned, in Major League Baseball. Number 2, the Arizona Diamondbacks, just about 2 months older on average. A couple of young teams battling here.
Well, there's a good young player, maybe the best young player in the game. Hanley Ramirez.
They're missing him. He is not in the lineup, as you can see. And Hanley Ramirez with trying to get healthy.
We hope Yusmeiro Petit can pitch around that, well, not physical error, but that mistake by Augie Ojeda. I hate to give him that 4th out.
changeup. And that's another pitch he's throwing a little bit more of. Fewer curveballs and certainly a lot more changeups this year when given the opportunity. 2-0 the count to Jorge Cantu. He has experienced a large dissipation in power. That's a foul ball on a shot that goes down the line. You can see the work against Arizona. That was in Florida. In Florida. Here at Chase, he's 1 for 13. Doesn't like it at all. He struck out 5 times. Fastball is in. Gracie, you were mentioning the young pitching, even more so that Freddie has to deal with. Gonzalez, the skipper. Average age of less than 26, a little bit more than 25, right in the middle. That's the youngest in Major League Baseball.
You're going to ride the peaks and valleys with those guys. A lot of talent, yes. A lot of talent in this pitching staff for the Marlins, but just very little experience. A lot of times these guys are facing hitters for the very first time. That looks like Big Josh Johnson.
It's a big drink of water. Pitch away, a slider and a dandy. Very good 3-1 pitch. Hitter aggressive.
Cantu looking for a fastball there. Petit put a little wrinkle in it there to the outside corner and got the swing and miss. Dan Uggla will be on the move at first base with the full count and 2 outs. Cody Ross, who's swinging the bat very well this year. You'd rather see him lead off the next inning.
Runner goes 3-2, fouls it off, and into the seats it goes. We'll do it again. We were talking about Hanley Ramirez. Saw that great, talented young player. It's been a handful of days since he has played. And he is expected, though, to play at some point during the season, maybe tomorrow or the next. He's been battling hip problems. And they miss him. Yeah, a lot.
He's one of the best players in the game. Of course they miss him.
Runner goes again. Outside, they lost him, and now, as you mentioned, Cody Ross.
Well, really, this inning should have been over a couple of hitters ago.
Center fielder number 12, Cody Ross.
But Yusmeiro Petit going to have to face a red-hot Cody Ross. Not a big kid at all. Probably say below average size-wise, but you see the 14 home runs, the 48 RBIs. You make a mistake to this kid, he can hit it a long, long ways.
A .345 career hitter against the Diamondbacks, and he is hot right now. That one is belted into left field, down off the end of the bat it goes, and there to make the play is the left fielder Parra. There was a bit of a miscue by Augie Ojeda, but otherwise the defense was there for him. Really there for him. part. Diamondbacks and Marlins. A.J. Hinch, skipper, his club on a roll. 5 in a row they have won. Sun shining brightly on these Diamondbacks of late. Don't be putting any shades on now. Southwest Airlines, let's keep it bright. Lopez at the top. Augie Ojeda bats second. Justin Upton, Mark Reynolds, Cora Young, Tony Clark, Luke Harlan, Yusmeiro Petit. Hard throwing young left-hander on the mound. Talk about young guys with high ceilings. I mean hard throwing. Standing 6 feet 7 inches tall, fastball 91. Felipe, welcome to getting to know Andrew Miller.
He is a long, lean, hard throwing young man. You can see 94 miles an hour on the second pitch of his evening. Doesn't give up too many long balls though, Darren. Only 4 all year long. The first one he gave up this year was to Chris Snyder down in Florida. So they are a rarity. Man, 96. This boy's just getting warmed up.
There's a lot to like about him. Lopez runs hard up the line. And so a 3-1 ground out.
That's a nice play by Cantu. Reaching to his right. Sprawling. Get over there, you big left-hander. Yeah, he gets over there in plenty of time. So hard out there off the bat of Felipe Lopez.
Coughlin, Ross, Ermida, who's on the trading block maybe. Helms, Bonifacio, Ugla, Cantu, John Baker behind home plate.
Well, they're right in the thick of things in the East. Only 2 back. Everybody except the Nationals are right in the thick of things. Nobody wants to take that bull by the horns.
Saw Cantu. They're hoping to not have to make a move and have him start hitting with more power. To the right side, base hit, Augie Ojeda. Good to see for Augie. His last couple of months, it's been a tough go of it. But the one thing he has done, listen to this, folks, 7 career at-bats against this hard thrower. He is now 4 for 7 against Andrew Miller.
That's why he's in the lineup. See a high fastball out over. Augie doesn't try to pull it. He just goes right with it and drills it into right field. That's a nice piece of hitting. A couple of teammates there, Cantu and Ojeda from Team Mexico in the World Baseball Classic.
Yes, they were. Yes, they were. Ouch, that one's fouled off the bat of Justin Upton. Remember during spring training when there was an exhibition game, Gracie, between the Mexican national team and the Diamondbacks. Right. And Ojeda came in, had all his Team Mexico gear. And, you know, instead of thinking, Augie, oi, oi, my teammates here, they were like, get out of here.
Beat it.
You're an opponent tonight. 1-1 the count.
This is a kid that needs to get going, Justin Upton. The good news about this 5-game winning streak, Darren, is really most of it done without Justin Upton. And really the last couple of games without Mark Reynolds.
Good fastball. Now, what I think when I hear that is you don't wish it upon him. You want everyone to stay hot all the time. But this team in 2007 managed to get through those times.
Oh, yeah.
And it was...
You got to have co-stars.
That's exactly right.
You got to have supporting actors. Can't lean on your superstars. Even superstars go cold once in a while.
Or as they used to say, anybody.
Anytime.
There you go.
That was a terrible slogan.
1-2 the count.
So glad that slogan was a couple of years ago. Look out, Justin got his tower buzzed. Yep, haven't had to hear that one in a couple of years. That's big league.
TC, now his voice with it was big league. The promos were good with the voice. 2-2 the count. In 95 miles an hour, 3-2.
This kid throws so hard.
Upton one hit in his last 30 at bats. It was a homer. He has struck out 12 times during that time. It's in 8 games.
So you're saying it's a hard one for 30?
I guess.
It is.
It'll bump the slugging up just a touch.
Glass half full guy I am. He's one of those guys that he rides hot and cold, though, Darren. You know that, and you know coming in.
Justin Upton belts it down the line. That one is gone. Now it's a hard 2 for 31.
2 for 31. He went down and he smashed a low fastball, hit a 1-iron over the Diamondback bullpen. Justin Upton continues to pound the baseball against the Florida Marlins. Down and in, bang. You think he knows it? Oh, yeah. That ball made a sound, didn't it, Darren? Way out of here.
All-star Justin Upton at 21 years old. Mark Reynolds thanking all of you for your support before the game today. Nice job, fans. Way to vote. A record amount of vote cast, and Mark Reynolds separating himself from Christian Guzman and Matt Kemp of the Dodgers. 0-2 the count.
And you know what? We had fun trying to get him there. We did.
Oh, absolutely.
Todd Walsh was involved as well. Mark McClune. We had a good time doing it. I loved that Super Tuesday. That was big league.
I did. Todd made that show. You can take a look at our Firestone leaderboard, how it all came together in the end. So the Flying Hawaiian will have the opportunity. Hard to pull against the Flying Hawaiian, to be honest.
I like the Flying Hawaiian, Shane Victorino. But I would have rather seen Mark Reynolds. I think is a little more deserving.
Well, we have our heads together for next year. The 2-2. Taking it to the streets.
Yeah?
Of America. All over America.
Instead
the
of just
airwaves.
Arizona?
Yeah, really. I mean, you flew, I know. You flew.
Yeah. I flew with Mark to Iowa.
You flew to Iowa.
Back.
Next year, you two, and it probably won't be Mark. He'll probably just be an all-star next year.
It's a good way of looking at it. You know what? No, don't depend on the fans next year. Just go out and smash the baseball around, and you'll get there.
Maybe it's the guy on deck, Hara, that will be having a fine upstart year. Maybe he will be in the final vote. Gerardo Parra. Maybe that's who it is.
You might be right.
That one is high. That's ball 4. Our Wet and Wild. Phoenix Wet and Wild. Arizona Wet and Wild.
There's Chad.
Text poll.
He's just hanging. Is that what we're talking about?
Absolutely. What went wrong with the campaign? Hanging Chads. Failed to energize the base. Locally, that didn't happen. They were energized.
Yeah, they were energized.
Didn't stay on message. That's usually my fault, so maybe so. And strong arm tactics. I will tell you, Gracie, he was a little tough when we knocked on some doors.
Yeah.
You were forceful.
I was. I did. I strong armed a lot of people. I may have to maybe take some of the blame, shoulder it a little bit. Maybe as his campaign manager, I may have failed him. What do you think?
I just think you were a little, you believed in him. That's why you were passionate. Passion's the word I like to use. Todd, what word would you use? I know Todd was a big part of covering the election.
Well, there's another side to strong arm tactics as well. There's some manipulation at the polls, thuggery, intimidation, fear by some of the other darker elements of the campaigns out there. And I'm not going to throw any of the other campaigns under the bus, but you're talking about some politically active cities. There's a lot of mudslinging that goes on.
Negative politics.
Yep, and negative campaigning. But I'm just going to get into the private sector for a while, maybe take a lobbyist job, a little consulting gig, and kind of reevaluate myself.
Parra with a fly ball to center field. I'll tell you what, you know what I've decided? Now that I hear you say that?
What's that?
I'm going negative next year.
Absolutely.
Just start hammering the other guys.
Going.
Well, when you have a campaign that's that brief, a span of days.
That's true.
You've got to make the most of the opportunity that you get.
So go negative.
Absolutely. You know,
Yeah.
why not? You know, don't take the high road.
We should have attacked Shane Victorino's voting record.
Yes.
I mean, we should have found out maybe that he cheated on a test in 6th grade.
Yep. Yep.
And just slammed him. I mean, drop the people's elbow on him.
Always understand the news cycle, a 24-hour news cycle these days. I mean, those things would have, you know, it would have stuck. If only for a day. You're talking about a sprint. Just my opinion.
Yep. Going negative next year.
Yep, we're going negative. If we get a Diamondback in those final 5, it is straight negative. America seems to like that.
Yes, they do.
We'll get some insiders in the Giants locker room and the Phillies locker room. Get some secrets.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Political operatives.
There's no doubt about it. Going to go with more. We're going to spend more money, too. I mean, we're going to spend a lot more money.
Campaign financing?
Absolutely. And we're not going to tell you where it's coming from. We're going to have more national media buys. Runner on the move. That one is in. And there he goes again, Mark Reynolds. Now remember, Mark Reynolds had 15 stolen bases, which, by the way, is more than going negative than the Flying Hawaiian has.
Yep.
Thought I'd pass that along.
Now take a look at the Flying Virginian.
Thank you.
In he goes with a headlong dive. Beats it easily. Keep that foot on there, Mark Reynolds. Attaboy.
He now has 7 stolen bases against the Florida Marlins alone.
It's awesome, too, that he got himself in scoring position. Now he can score on a single. See if Chris Young can square it up. Ball 3. And right now, Mr. Andrew Miller, 26 pitches in the first inning.
It's going to be a different campaign next year for, let's say, Gerardo Parra, if he is in the final vote.
Well, we're going to have to learn our Spanish.
Absolutely. Vote for Parra is a vote for the world, as that is ball 4.
Another walk for Chris Young. And we're going to have our first meeting on the mound. Mike Wiley, the pitching coach for the Fighting Fish. I said Mike, I meant Mark. I should know that name. A couple of young studs. Looking forward to watching Justin.
What an opportunity.
Seen Dan Herron a couple of years in a row now. Looking forward to watching Justin, see how much time he gets. 3 pretty good ones right there. Herron, Upton, right there in the middle of them, Max.
He'll have his time in the All-Star game, no doubt about that. Someday, stay healthy, keep growing.
31, Tony Clark.
Justin Upton becomes the 3rd member of that 05 draft class to join an All-Star team. Ryan Zimmerman and Ryan Braun already, and now Justin Upton. Pretty good ball player.
Real good ones.
Command much better, as you can see. ERA has come down a bit for Andrew Miller. Last time out, July the 4th, he pitched very effectively at Pittsburgh. Miller part of that huge trade with the Detroit Tigers. Dontrelle Willis, Miguel Cabrera, they went north. Dontrelle has since gone south, unfortunately. More figuratively.
What did we do here?
Well, Reynolds had Young right behind him. Took off, and I'm not sure if, in fact, he saw Chris Young on the move. Pushing him to second base. We'll break it all down when we come back. The one thing we know the Diamondbacks did get to, Justin Upton. Breaking out of it a bit, aren't you? Oh, yeah, you bet.
false steps, and Chris Young's thinking, man, I got to stay on his tail, but now kind of went haywire there at the end. And really, if you're Mark Reynolds in that situation, he'll learn that there's really no need to steal third right there with 2 outs. Give big Tony Clark a chance to drive you in. You're in scoring position already. You've got good speed. You're going to score on any base hit. But by the same token, if you're Chris Young, you have to make sure that guy's gone in front of you.
Right.
So it was one of those where both guys are at fault, yet nobody's at fault. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And the only tiny bit of joy, which is larger, obviously, became watered down as you did manage to score in that inning. You were hoping to score a lot more. You had a pitcher who was in danger of clearly not only being on the ropes, but maybe a standing 8.
Now, he had taken a haymaker or 2.
The 2-1. That's a bouncing ball. 2-2 the count. He's catching some oxygen in there, no doubt about it.
You were talking about the trade, Darren, between the Marlins and the Tigers. Dontrell Willis, Miguel Cabrera up to Detroit. Miller, and who else came down from Detroit?
Cameron Maybin, who is one of the top prospects in the Florida Marlins system. Cameron Maybin, a big part of it. That draft from 2006 has Andrew Miller right in the middle. You can see where Lincecum and Scherzer are. Ochover and Evan Longoria. But what Cameron Maybin does, along with Miller, Burke Badenhop, by the way, along with Mike Robello, a catcher, so a boatload of players. Dallas Trahern, a pitcher. But when you talk about right now what Cameron Maybin is doing, playing big baseball in AAA, ready to come up here now as Tony Clark bobbles and recovers. This is what has made Jeremy Hermida, who made the first out of this inning, available. With Cameron Maybin's playing, there is discussion that the Pirates' Matt Capps, a solid veteran reliever, may be coming to Florida. With Maybin playing well and Hermida now available.
Tell you what, if you're the Florida Marlins, well, I do that yesterday.
The talk amongst the Marlins is they, as everyone does right now, want a little bit more, the Pirates. But they're considering throwing in a prospect along with Hermida. Letting Cameron Maybin take off out there and go, moving Ross to the corner and letting the kid play.
Not a bad idea at all. As Wes Helms steps into the box.
Gets the start tonight. Friend of the show.
Very good friend of the show. He swings and misses at a slider down and away.
Big Tex, they call it.
It's always good to have a young man from the great state of Texas, Lone Star State.
Actually, he's not from Texas.
Huh?
I'll tell you about it later.
Oh, you like to tease me, Darren.
It's the bit that never ends.
says, please do not throw away Scherzer with his number.
Leading off for the Diamondbacks.
Well, Mark Grace, 2-0 is the score, and we have our Arrowhead Brown and Brown and Superstition Spring Chevy dealers key to the game.
All right. I can't
Another
wait.
round, please.
Yes! Now we're talking. Now that's the kind of key I'm talking about. Looking forward to that after the game. That's a good key to the game, dude.
Yeah, it really has nothing to do with, I think, what you're thinking about.
What?
Maybe another beverage? Is that what you mean?
A libation? Yeah, what are you talking about?
Oh, no. Has absolutely nothing to do. You know, just like make mine a triple had nothing to do with that.
Well, that's true.
Another round, please.
Like a boxing match? Just can't get enough, or maybe the MMA?
No.
No?
No, has nothing to do with it.
Golly.
As a matter of fact, it ties into starting pitchers.
Okay.
Yusmeiro Petit started this winning streak. Now, he did not pitch effectively, but when he started, the winning streak started as Tony Clark hits it on the ground to short and in time for the out. And the rotation has gone an entire time through without losing. Now, Petit did struggle. 3 innings, 4 earned runs, but it was an 11-7 win. So, for A.J. Hinch, he looks down at that starting rotation. He says, boys, another round, please.
Yeah, that's what I like to hear when I'm out and about. Innkeeper, another round, please. That's a big league key to the game there, Darren.
We opened it up tonight. We opened it up to the world of Twitter.
Really?
That comes from the world of Twitter.
That comes from our viewers, huh? And our followers on Twitter.
On Twitter, a couple of places you can follow, Fox Sports AZ. This one came on the Twitter page, D-backs Booth.
I like that one. That's a good one.
And it says, another round, please. 5-game win streak. Now the rotation starts over again. Another round of 5 wins.
Please.
Luke Carlin, fly ball, right field. Didn't mean to get you all excited or
Well,
anything.
you know, it's quite all right. Just, you know, sometimes when you trick me like that, you know, I just get a little fired up. Like make mine a triple. You know, that was tough because being a 6:40 game, you know, I thought you had me drinking triples right out of the gate. It would have been a long night.
Well, I understand, and you tend to at times get ahead of yourself. But that key to the game brought to us by Jenny Mitchell in San Francisco, up in the Bay Area. Big Diamondbacks fan who did not vote for Kung Fu Panda. Back of the ballpark. Want to remind you that coming up this weekend. Good looking bobblehead to be given away. A really sharp one. The Chris Snyder bobblehead given away this Saturday. Snyder bobblehead, the first 25,000 fans. Plus, you can be one of 10 lucky fans to receive the special edition bobble autographed by Chris. Or Snide Piece, as the governor likes to call it.
Yeah, it's one of the better nicknames.
Well, it is. Get tickets by calling 602-514-8400 or visit online at dbacks.com/one of the better nicknames. That one is into Miller. Actually, at Kidd, obviously. Just visit dbacks.com. 1-0 the count to Miller. Right down the heart of the plate. Set him down, Yusmeiro Petit. 1-2-3 in the second inning. So far, so good. And you could say, going back to his first inning, though he was credited with a walk as well, that he could have set him down 1-2-3 in the first inning as well. And Ugler reaching on a slow roller that Ojeda just played back and kind of helped him
it out, yeah.
get a base hit. Hot shot, Felipe Lopez. Boy, Miller came ready to swing the bat.
He hammered that ball. That's a nice play by Lopez. You can see him like pretty stunned by that. He didn't expect that from Miller, who came in hitting 091. That'll drop, but that was a bolt. Heck of a pickup by the Diamondbacks. Felipe Lopez playing very well this year.
2-0 the score. Here's Chris Coghlan. Over the outside corner, it's a strike. Diamondback starting pitchers, by the way, in their last 11 games. 11, and they should have more wins than a run during this 5-game winning streak. Are pitching very effectively, as that one is in. As a matter of fact, their last 11 games, 2.88 ERA for the starting pitcher.
Fabulous. Always leading the charge, Dan Herron. Hey, a guy that's thrown the ball very well this year, Darren, and just, well, you see Max, that him too, but Doug Davis just not getting enough credit for how well he's thrown the ball this year. Only 4 wins to show for a 3.13 ERA. That's impressive. Mel Stottlemyre, a lot to be proud of. His boys are throwing the ball very well.
You get pitching like that, though, you need to be better than 6-5 during that time.
Agree.
That's one over. But if you're going sub-3 for 2 weeks worth of games,
yeah, you're right. Either the offense or the defense or the bullpen has been a problem.
Changeup is high, and the guy we saw a moment ago, last 3 years, either first or second in the Cy Young race. You don't have him at all. Not an excuse, just a fact, because all teams have injuries. Coghlan out front. Threw him another changeup.
He threw him a nice changeup on 3-2 and got him out in front. So Yusmeiro Petit pulled a fast one on him and actually pulled a slow one on him. 3-2. You're thinking fastball here. He throws a high changeup. He gets him off the end of the bat and gets a big out.
And talk about bouncing all over the place with regard to numbers. That has also been a man who has a bounce in his step, Emilio Bonifacio. Last 15 games, he has 20 hits. Hitting .345. Prior to that, he went about a month, hit about 2. A little bit over 200. We know he can run. I don't know if there's a faster baseball player in the game. Down the line, we're about to find out. Racing on around, no doubt about it. Heading into third, and for a slide and triple, as we were saying. And he had a bit of a spin out, it looked like, before he touched first. It didn't matter. Triple number 5, number 10 in his career.
Once he pulls it down the right field line, it's just a matter of, is it going to be a sliding triple or a stand-up triple? It was a sliding triple.
Wow. He can really move. That means he's not catching his breath.
Oh, he can move.
So now Dan Uggla. Good spot to face Uggla there, and that a low strike.
Right at the bottom of the kneecaps there.
Uggla, an all-star last year in Yankee Stadium. A tough ball game, as many of you remember. He went into that all-star game in 08 hitting .281 and slugging .600. Since that all-star game, a lot of at bats, nearly a season's worth, hitting just .224.
Good pitch right to the inside corner. Uggla was looking for something off speed and got frozen.
Yusmeiro making his way, as you can see, the second time through the lineup. That second time through the lineup,
yikes.
Opponents are slugging .840. That's when the long balls tend to sail out. The long ball, well, that's one of his uphill battles. The 1-2. Bouncing ball, he's there. Comfortably, confidently makes the play. And 3 very solid innings, helping the Diamondbacks to a 2-0 lead. He's also helping the Diamondbacks to a 2-0 lead. We'll see Justin in a moment.
Okay.
Go get him, Todd.
Good luck, Todd.
Diamondbacks second baseman Felipe Lopez.
Todd Walsh back here at Chase Field. Our final thoughts now on the final voting that took place in Major League Baseball. We're hanging out here with Derek Hall. And Derek, when you look at the numbers, the pure numbers all across Major League Baseball, is it safe to say that really we stumbled upon something here? This has energized this entire league and the fan base, hasn't it?
No doubt, Todd. I think just by the pure numbers, you saw the over 68 million that voted for this final spot. It just shows that it extends the excitement for the overall process of selecting the team. It was great for us because we had our own in there, and unfortunately it didn't turn out how we wished, but we still think he deserves to be an all-star.
It's amazing when you look at the social networking that's going on and just the variety of aspects, a variety of ways that you can take part in something like this. I mean, the world is changing literally right in front of us, I guess is my point.
It has, and I think that's what gave our market a tremendous advantage. When you look at the size of the markets, Philadelphia, LA, San Francisco, we really shouldn't have been where we were, and our fans pushed so hard and gave such a great effort. That was important, but I also think the social networking that caught on with McCain and his 950,000 followers. We saw a real surge, but our fans never stopped. They were relentless. They were behind this. They were excited for Mark, and he appreciates it.
There is a small corner of the constituents that have not given up, that believe there's some sort of impropriety. There's looks like an infant hit. There may be more. Very exciting.
Into the dugout it sails. We'll have a runner in scoring position while Felipe Ease is over there. You will have plenty of time to continue.
I'm just saying, Derek, as I let you go here, but there are some people that haven't given up that may go and lawyer up. I mean, this thing isn't over yet for some.
I don't think it's over, and I also think with Beltran being hurt, they can pick Victorino for that spot anyways.
Wow.
Yeah, so you never know. I mean, if they pick a final spot, we hope that it'll be Mark Reynolds. Again, look at the numbers. I think he easily deserves it over the 4 that he went against, but they'll probably try and make the same case in each of those cities too.
The campaigning never ends, does it, Derek?
It never ends, and you know what? We're excited for Dan Herron and Justin Upton and all this. We can't lose sight that we are represented, which is great.
It's a lot of fun. Thanks, Derek.
You got it. Thanks, Todd.
Well, guys, there could be another story brewing.
No, I'm all in. You know that, Todd. I am not happy. Here is Augie Ojeda with a leadoff base runner on second. Fastball is in. A quick note with regard to that. Up in the air is the All-Star game, as Hanley Ramirez said today, and I quote, "It's more important than playing in the regular season. Those are the games I need to play, and I don't worry about the All-Star game. It's a lot of fun. We're 2 games out. That's what it's about right now. I don't worry about the All-Star game." So, discussion that he might not play in the All-Star game. So we'll see.
We'll see.
Then you need another infielder. I think Mark Reynolds plays infield.
Yeah. That would be big league.
There's no doubt about what he has accomplished.
Gosh,
He's
this kid
an
can play,
incredible
man.
player.
He can play. Gosh, is he good.
We're working on it, Mark. I know I'm not done.
You're not?
Oh, no.
Well, as a campaign manager, I feel like we failed him.
We clearly failed him. That's why I'm not done.
Yes.
We're going to
Stick with the message. Yeah, we're gonna recount.
I'm going to talk to Hanley tomorrow too. Maybe a nice thick handshake. Maybe encourage him not to play in that game.
Maybe have a $50 bill, maybe, or something like that in your hand when you.
I don't know if that'll work. It might have to be more.
Yeah,
I might need your help.
Maybe have to go a little higher on that bill. Huh?
I think 50's not going to do it.
Maybe have to have a Ben Franklin or two.
Or yes.
Okay. Hanley. Nah, you don't want to get hurt now in the All-Star game.
Shake your hand, give you that good strong grip. Bouncing ball. West Helms, Big Tex looks it back and throws. And in time for the out.
So an unproductive out there from Augie Ojeda. And Florida once again demands a recount. And those guys voted. That's great
now
stuff.
See, those are Marlins fans. Yeah, we're not done. Boy, really glad that was saved.
Yeah, that was.
It's a proud moment.
That was highly embarrassing.
It's Justin Upton.
I got an idea, guys, down in the truck. Why don't you just haul me and Darren on down to the water treatment plant and throw us in the raw sewage?
Todd is still down by the CEO of the Diamondbacks, and the Diamondbacks dugout as well, as the 1-0 sliced and into the seats it goes. I don't know if you're done, Todd.
No, can I just?
But I'm not.
I'm not either. But Mark,
yes,
you can bribe the sausages in Milwaukee $50 to win a race, but I don't
take a little more for Hanley.
Just on the scale of justice here, you're going to have to step up to the plate.
That one is popped up towards the press box. And a souvenir down below.
Hip flexor. Man. I just hate to risk it.
I can't tell you.
1-2 the count. Athletic enough certainly to play it short if they need it. Good fastball, 2-2. Little $50 handshake with the racing sausages, huh? That's in your past?
No, that's alleged.
That's alleged.
That's alleged. No, there's no proof of that.
Yeah. I know what they pay him, and I think that's about right. That pitch is high. 2-2 the count. Actually introduced to chorizo. I don't know if you knew that.
Well, I did know that. It was one of the highlights of your career, I understand.
Definitely was. Had the All-Star game announcement on top of the dugout here earlier this year. That ranked a little bit above it. And emceeing the home run derby as well in 2002.
Sure.
In on the hands. Boy, you hate to look over and still see Felipe standing at second. You have to give credit to Miller for making some pitches, though.
Third baseman, Mark Reynolds.
So what went wrong, Darren Sutton, with the campaign? Everybody seems to think it was the strong arm tactics by me. You know, Darren, I think when we went door to door, maybe I shouldn't have just barged in and ate their food and drank their coffee. I think that was a mistake on my part. I was just maybe a little too strong arm.
I think so too. Intentionally walking to the backstop it goes. The crowd booing with the choice to walk the All-Star candidate, then cheering on high and wide. Wild pitch.
I mean, this one doesn't even get on the screen. Are you kidding me? I want to see where this next one goes. I want to see where this one goes. There, that's a little bit better. Holy Moses.
So Mark Reynolds reaches. A little something that I learned along the way in throwing the intentional walks. And Mr. Miller knows. But you youngsters out there, at the younger youth leagues, you can just say 4 and send them to first. You don't throw the pitches. But go ahead and throw them. And that's what Miller did there. If you're throwing at 100% or 85 to 100% as a pitcher, and then suddenly you try to throw at 40% and lob it, that's not how you throw the ball.
Darren, a lot of times back in the day, they make you, instead of just saying, okay, take your base and speeding up the game, that's the reason why they make you throw the pitches. And they don't. Another way to do it would be to stand on the mound on the dirt area and go to your mouth. Those would be balls.
Absolutely.
You're not allowed to do that. Now, if you were to do that, it's a balk, and the run comes home.
You're exactly right. But go ahead and turn it loose.
Yeah.
I mean, even when you're playing catch down that right field line with your teammate, you never ever would throw it like he just did.
No.
Once you're loose and ready to play catch. Par of the pitch is high. He is 4 for his last 8 with runners in scoring position. One and two. This is a tough assignment for the left-handed hitter here.
Now with 2 strikes, you might see some shenanigans from A.J. Hinch and the Diamondback base runners. Baker's going to come out now. John Baker, the catcher, going to come out now and put a couple of signs on. Just in case Mark Reynolds goes, this is what we're going to do. Let's see if he goes. Oh, he almost threw a wild pitch. That would have been a nice cheapie to get.
Interesting Mark, who swiped a bag back in the first inning. Staying awfully close now. In a ratio, it's just about 50-50. Bouncing ball, and it's a foul ball. Up and over the head there. Kangaroo bounce over Jorge Cantu.
It's one thing about Gerardo Parra. He will battle you up there. You might strike him out every now and then, but he's going to put an at-bat on you. He's going to talk to himself a little bit. Left-handers haven't been much fun for him this year. Big opportunity to kick the door in here.
He just kicked it down. Parra with an RBI, lefty on lefty. The Diamondbacks lead it 3-0.
That boy can hit. Gets a high fastball up and in, bang, just smokes it into right field. That's what you do. You take it personal when they intentionally walk somebody in front of you. And you make them pay. Andrew Miller. Can't believe that just happened. Mark Wiley out again to talk with his left-hander. Nobody getting loose in the Marlin bullpens. Chuck Merriweather, home plate umpire, goes and breaks it up. Big Chuck says that's enough. I had Big Chuck when I was a minor leaguer. We were in the minor leagues together. He was in AAA when I was in AAA. Wonderful man, Big Chuck Merriweather. He's been around a while.
Works hard. Tries to keep the game moving as well. Pitch is low, 1-0 the count. I tell you, for Gerardo Parra, another hit, another timely hit. He is 1 for 2 tonight. Parra now has 13 hits in his last 22 at bats.
Man, got Chris Young chase a high fastball, and it was right by him.
Gracie, those are the kind of runs as a hitter you love, I would imagine.
Oh man, are you kidding me? Walk a guy to get to you. Then you put a 2-strike, real good swing on one and get that big hit with 2 outs. You know, the Marlins opened the door, leading off the inning. An error got Felipe Lopez to second base. He stayed there for a batter. He stayed there for another batter. Then they intentionally walk someone, get the lefty on lefty, and you make them pay. That's hitting.
A.J. Hinch was saying before the game that he was about to give Parra a day, maybe 2. He had started to stumble a bit, struggled, chase pitches out of the zone. He said, just when I was about to do it, I gave him 1 more day to play, and he hasn't stopped hitting. It's funny how that works, isn't it?
Well, that's baseball, and if you're, and AJ is learning that as a manager, and I think the Diamondbacks are learning that as an organization. Is when you're dealing with young players, you know, nobody, not even the Hall of Famers, not even Albert Pujols, stays hot for 162 games. You're going to go. You're going to have some times where you go 0 for 10, or you're going to have some times. But if you can stick with these guys.
High fly down the line, and it's a foul ball.
But if you can stick with these guys and show them that confidence that, you know what, I still believe in you. I'm going to run you out there, and I'm going to continue to run you out there. Well, the good hitters, when the dust settles, they're going to be good hitters. At the end of the year, you know, the 230 hitters are going to hit 230. The 280 hitters are going to hit 280. And the 300 hitters are going to hit 300 and above. How you get there and what avenue you take is not important.
High fly ball, deep left field. Pablo going back into the corner. He leaps, he can't get there. Both runs will score. Young is racing on around to third. He goes a fly ball triple into the triangle. And for the Florida Marlins, the Bermuda triangle. What a route that was taken there by Bogman.
Well, you see, Chris Young thinks he got it. And now all of a sudden, Coughlin doing pass patterns out there in left field. Into the triangle it goes, and a stand-up triple to left field for Chris Young. And Miller's like, oh, please, please, please. Oh, boy.
So it's 5-0, 3 runs in. And it's very loud in here when the cheering goes on. You kind of need to protect.
What a cutie. Looks just like mom. And Clark falls behind 0-2. Boy, 3 runs across the board. Darren Sutton with 2 outs. That's winning offense. Put a hurting on him with 2 outs. Big sigh of relief.
Clark drives it around. Power rolls all the way to the wall. Clark, the big fella, picking him up and stomping him down. Good to see for Tony. He had grounded out. Young could walk home. For Tony Clark, RBI number 11, career RBI number 824. 6 runs already. That means, folks, if you're out and about tomorrow, stop by Taco Bell. Tacos.
High fastball, 0-2. Tony Clark just cuts it off and drills it into the left center gap. By the time Cody Ross can run it down, big Tony Clark drives in another run. The 4th run of this inning. And that means it is taco time. Oh, Darren. Purchase a large drink tomorrow between 4 p.m. and 6 p.m. and you'll get 3 free tacos. I know you like the soft ones. I'm more the crunchy guy. But whatever you do, folks, don't eat the tacos if they have arms.
Well, Freddie Gonzalez has arms in the bullpen. He just didn't want to go to them this quickly. Enjoying the night at the ballpark. Oh, you bet. Spicy night at the Yard.
Fans in the first inning, just enough to hit a Chase big fly home run.
Baseball brought to you by the top 3 power Chevy dealers in the Valley. And by Triple Hops Brewed Miller Lite. Great taste, less filling. Burke Badenhop goes to work. Andrew Miller. There's nothing that tastes great about his night, as the Diamondbacks have been filling up the scoreboard all evening long. Enjoying their Miller time this evening. Andrew Miller, now understand this, coming in 3 starts against Arizona. In 3 starts, an ERA of 2.29.
Yeah, he was real good. Not tonight.
The Diamondbacks had hit 197 against him. But all of those starts were in South Florida. Never had he pitched here in Chase Field. A big inning for the Diamondbacks. Really started with that young man. As Gracie said, kicking down the door, Tony Clark wrapped it up. Our Aflac trivia question.
I'm going to love it.
Folks out there, and you, my friend, are going to love it. Name the 4 managers with the most wins in the All-Star game.
I think I know one of them.
All-Star game coming up right around the corner. How about Sparky Anderson?
I got to say Joe Torre.
Very well done.
Bob Brennan.
All-Star manager. That's an excellent guess.
Well, and it was also a tie.
I guess the question didn't include ties, did it? The most ties.
Good breaking ball. 0-2 on Cantu.
You know what he's doing more in this game? It's interesting. He's throwing more slower breaking balls, the curveballs, than he is sliders, and it appears to be by design. Got to keep these guys in the rocking chair, diving out front a little bit more. Solid changeups as well. That was the slider, and perfectly located. Back-to-back breaking balls, but they look totally different. Our Cabot Wood Stains fine sponsors of Diamondbacks baseball on this date in Major League Baseball history. Premium wood care since 1877. Legendary performance on this date. The 73rd All-Star game, a 7-7 tie after 11 innings.
A lot of happy Milwaukeeans that night. They wanted the tie. They were very pleased when they left the building. Not.
They got together with the commission. They said, well,
throw your hands in the air, bud. Nice fastball inside there. That one had Cody Ross jumping out of the way. Merrill throwing a lot of strikes.
Another pitcher, by the way, added to the rosters this year as they expand. And also, home field advantage in the World Series is determined by the All-Star game. That came out of that night.
Not a fan.
1-2 the count. Neither am I. That's kind of a 50-50 thing, I think. I was at that game, Mark Grace. I'll be at that game as well.
You're going this year?
That game, 2011.
2011.
Nope. You and I have big plans.
We're going floating down the Salt River. I've already got my favorite inner tube reserved.
I found one today, but I'm taking it in and having it painted Sedona red.
Nice. Well, mine's Sonoran Sand, my favorite color, so that'll be perfect. And then the beverage. Is that a pulled foul? The beverage tube.
Yes.
Is going to be, well, we'll have that be both Sonoran Sand and Sedona red. So if you're going up there, look us up, folks.
Then it's down to Rocky Point for the last couple of days. 2-2 the count.
Richard Signs.
Just off the plate. There you go. Perfect.
You're on TV, honey. Look at me. Look at me. Look at me. There you go. Two beautiful ladies.
That's great. Pitch is high, lost it. Ball 4.
Yeah, unfortunately had him 0-2, and 4 pitches later he strolls to first base. Knock it off.
We used to share spring training sites, then you left. Yep, I'm leaving just now.
Yep.
See you later.
Just like the Sox did. Take that with you.
Oh, no, we're done guessing at the trivia question, by the way.
No.
Oh, you're not?
No. Nope. I'm going to say Bobby Cox. That wasn't very big league.
That one lined to right field. Justin Upton leaping, shooting it back, taking a shot at 2. Why not?
Nice play by Upton. Just about got The second into the double play with a rocket. In from right field. I mean, a bazooka. Nice stretch there by Tony Clark, but Cody Ross gets back safely. Big Chuck Merriweather hustling down the line to make sure. But two are out. John Baker's going to step in and take his chances.
Baker takes a strike over the outside corner.
I got a guess.
All right, we're listening.
How about Leo DeRocher?
Good guess. Fans love that buzzer and bell, too.
Terrific guess.
Fouled off at home plate.
Another 0-2 count here for Yusmeiro Petit. Let's see if he can put away Baker. Let's see. How about Casey Stengel?
Oh,
yes.
Boy. Now we're talking.
That's awesome. All right. How about well, I thought Sparky Anderson was a great guess.
Did you now?
Yeah, but you lost. Now Whitey Herzog. Darn it.
Connie Mack. The 1-2. That one is in. Bouncing in there.
How about Tommy Lasorda?
I'll play off that and go with Walter Alston.
Wow. Very good. Walter Alston. Oh, what a
Change
hit.
up and a dandy.
You look at Yusmeiro Petit, you say, ding!
Oh, you bet. Fans love the ding. We are back at the ballpark. What a fabulous Aflac trivia question this was, because we got most of them right.
And you didn't even cheat on this one, did you?
I couldn't. I tried. Name the 4 managers with the most wins in the All-Star games.
Joe McCarthy.
Oh, Joe McCarthy.
Yeah, gosh. Our bad.
Yeah, he did win about 3,500 games. 0-1 the count to Yusmeiro Petit. Obviously, we hope that Yusmeiro gets into one and drives it in the gap. But unfortunately, it's not totally and completely likely. If he does drive one out of here, hits the hit and win sign here in the 4th inning. $460,000 will come to a lucky fan. Gila River Casinos hit and win promotion right there. Debbie Herron is playing for $460,000. Visit dbacks.com/hit-and-win.
Man, you really hope Dan's wife can win some money. Yeah, really. You know, probably should get a shot at Dan Herron in the dugout and see if he's pulling hard.
Well, he's still down voting for Mark Reynolds.
Okay.
See, he hasn't given up. And Wes Helms is there to make the play. And as a matter of fact, it's spelled differently, and it's not his wife.
Oh, it's not Dan's wife?
No. Herren.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
Dan is still down voting.
Well,
of course, that's Harren for Dan Herron.
I got you. Well, why would he still be voting?
Because he hasn't given up.
But the vote's over.
No. I know I haven't given up. We're there for you, Mark. We have a team of lawyers gathered in the back of the booth. On a backhand, Dan Uglin is there, and he makes the play for the out. Don't forget, we love to see you folks on the World Wide Web. You helped to give us the key to the game tonight.
That was an awesome key, too.
And during the ball game, join other fans in in-game discussions of Fox Sports Arizona's Facebook page. And also check us out on Twitter, Fox Sports AZ on Twitter. And don't forget D-Backs booth as well on Twitter. 3 great ways to join us up here in the booth and follow the news of the Arizona Diamondbacks. Another round, please.
You betcha. Looking forward to that.
Of solid starts by starting pitchers.
I was thinking maybe another round of cotton candy would be half bad.
That's Baden Hop. And in time for the out, a great inning by Baden Hop as Augie Ojeda rolls out. 1, 2, 3 go the Diamondbacks, rolling right along. A ride out to the pool, brought to you by our good friends and partners this year with Ride Now Power Sports, and hopefully our partners for a long, long time. Always a great destination to enjoy the ball game. And don't forget, you can keep your pool heated by installing solar panels on your roof at home. Our APS rooftop solar cam taking a peep up above, and you can see that it makes a huge difference in your world. Heat your pool, keep your home cool in the summertime. Go green. Take advantage of Arizona's sunshine. Wes Helms, and as we were saying earlier, slugger digging in with a .239 batting average. You can see the good start for Petit as he fires a first pitch strike again. Young man out of Gastonia, North Carolina, Wes Helms.
No, it can't be.
Why is that?
Well, because his nickname is Big Tex.
Well, it is, and it's one of the better nicknames.
I love the nickname. Well, don't pay attention to that graphic, folks. Of course he's from Texas. Now to Matt. Well, boy, that was drilled into right center field. Big Tex is on the move.
Racing on around into second. Wes Helms with a double.
So the kid out of El Paso starts the Marlin fifth with a double into the right center gap. This ball's smoked. And you can see Chris Young, he gets beat on the fly. That's going to bring up the pitcher. They're going to stay with Badenhop here.
Fourth double this season for Wes from North Carolina. As that one is fouled off at home plate. Got a piece of Carlin, so he'll have to shake it off.
And I got the meat hand of Carlin. I think it got a nice piece of Chuck Merriweather, too, the home plate umpire. Yeah, Carlin probably right off a finger or a thumb. Let's see where it gets. Watch the meat hand. Tough to tell there. Yeah, you had Carlin and big Chuck Merriweather. Shaking it off. 90% of women who walk into a department store immediately turn to the right.
Well, the Marlins, no runs on 3 hits and an error. They have stranded 4. The Diamondbacks, 6 runs, 5 hits and no errors. They have stranded a pair. 8 batters, now 9, 3 pitches or less in the ball game for Petit. He has been economical. And that one is low. 1-1 the count to the pitcher, Burke Badenhop. 8 at bats this year. He is hitless. 3 sacrifice bunts. They're looking for it. In on both sides, Clark and Reynolds. Pops that bunt up. Carlin takes a look and back to the screen it goes. 1-2 the count. Skipper Freddie Gonzalez has his team right in the hunt.
Nice pitch from Petit. So unproductive strikeout there by Badenhop. And a quick, that's a nice slider there.
Left fielder Chris Cogler.
And doing a much better job than the numbers on the far right. Petit and Buckner and Brian Augenstein, who is pitching much better now down in the minor leagues. It could be an option if Petit were to struggle tonight or any other following. Big shoes to fill, speaking of course of ace Brandon Webb. That one drilled right field. Justin Upton spins, now backtracking and squares up, making the play for the out.
One pitch and a big out there. Justin Upton has to go all the way back to the track, but he corrals it easily. Got a little bit turned around, but makes the play nicely. Big Tex is going to tag up and go to third.
I know you were asking earlier, or at least venturing a guess of El Paso, but
yeah,
he's actually from the same area, kind of the same area as Kevin Millwood in Gastonia, North Carolina.
Doesn't make much sense. I know how you like to tease me and poke fun at me, try to confuse me. You know, us old ball players, we've taken a few fastballs in the helmet. I understand that. There's a big Tex, couple of them. I think those guys are both out of Amarillo.
North Carolina boy from Gastonia, as we were saying earlier. 2-0 the count. Fouls that one back to the screen.
Bonifacio got a fastball down the middle and took a big rip at it. Fouled it straight back.
was the 1993 and 94 Helms North Carolina State Player of the Year. Nephew of former big leaguer Tommy Helms.
I don't remember Tommy Helms.
Sure.
Good pitch right at the bottom of the kneecaps there from Petit. 2-2.
Wes heads back. Ashbrook High School in North Carolina is where he graduated.
Two mules in a wagon, yeah. Probably in Texas as well with a couple of donkeys pulling that wagon. I don't know they're mules.
The 2-2. Fly ball, center field.
He's barely doing something. And I mean it. Stop it.
A leadoff double, and then he strands Big Tex.
All right, we got it.
Back at the ballpark, and it's cool to start busting out of a quiet spell, no doubt about it. Very cool. Our Chaz Roberts cool play. He was 1 for 30. Well, he's not 1 for 30 anymore. He's now 1 for 1 with a homer.
It is a very hard 2 for 32. A couple of long balls.
6-0. The Diamondbacks lead it. Mark Reynolds waits on deck. It's interesting as Justin takes from Badenhop a slider with regard to Reynolds. Freddie Gonzalez, the skipper of these Marlins, and a couple of Marlins, and it'll happen for the next couple of times that the Diamondbacks have an opponent. Speaking of the challenge issued by Mark Reynolds, the challenge to his teammates, the challenge to himself. And Freddie had thoughts on leadership and how it emerges as that one is a fly ball right field. Single by Upton. Listen to what Freddie Gonzalez has to say, and it kind of ties into what Mark did about the concept with the young team as well of leadership.
I think there's different leaderships. I think some guys lead by example. I think some guys, get in people's faces. I think the manager has a lot of that leadership, and sometimes if you have players that kind of follow the managers, or it makes it a lot easier in the clubhouse. But you know what? I'm not looking for one leader. I'm looking for a leader every day, one guy every day.
One leader every day.
Interesting.
The great thing about it, Mark Grace, and I asked Freddie the question, and I included what Ted Simmons told us last year,
right,
that the leader is the manager.
Right.
I don't know if there's one straight answer to that question. I think you get 30 different answers.
You know what? It would be very interesting to ask from here on out. Let's ask every manager we see. I think we should. We don't have to put it on the air or whatever, but just for our curiosity. And maybe we can say, yeah, we were just talking with Freddie Gonzalez and see see how many similar or different answers we get.
What did you think about the last part? Because that's you could see him collecting his thoughts.
I want a leader every day.
That to me was
one a day.
That to me was the most important thing he said.
And tell me why.
Because I think he was thinking it through that, and it's somewhat common to say, some guys lead by example, some guys lead by challenging their teammates, getting in another teammate's faces, which is a variation of what Mark did. Some guys look to their manager, and the manager is the leader. But I'm looking for a new leader every day. I find that very interesting.
And like, for instance, as you said, one day it might be a guy that leads on the field, the guy that was the best player on the field that night. Another night it might be a guy that got in somebody's face.
Move, and a stolen base just enough, and Reynolds goes down on strikes. Stolen base for Upton, his 12th.
Well, Upton gets a good jump. Mark Reynolds strikes out. Now you got to pour on the speed. Justin Upton, he gets there just ahead of the tag of Dan Uggla. So now he's in scoring position with one out.
Now Freddie learned and trained a lot of his craft. Gonzalez, the skipper of the Marlins, under a guy that likes to have players in his clubhouse policing the situation. There's no doubt that Bobby Cox is the leader of his team.
Of course.
But he likes to have veterans, Bobby does,
Chipper Jones,
helping out.
John Smoltz, obviously Tom Glavine.
Oh my goodness, down goes Baden-Hop. Let's hope he's all right. Parra reaches, scalding that baseball, but most importantly, he is in pain, the young man.
He can't move his legs. Golly. No batter enjoys that. Nobody wants to do that. Yeah, you love hitting the ball hard. You love getting a base hit. You never want to hurt somebody like that. You can see concern on Gerardo Parra. Probably never met Baden-Hop before. Just a bolt right back at the knee. Yep, the inside of the knee. Down he went. Let's just hope this young man just has a bruise. Got the bill of his cap as well. Golly.
We'll watch to see as he tries to put weight on it. Having a hard time doing so. Oh boy. Bert Baden-Hop.
He's starting to walk okay now.
Good.
That's very good news. He's under his own power now. Now let's hope the kid's okay. Golly.
The bullpen will go to work. They'll have as much time as they need to get ready. 6-0. Chris Helms at third in the first inning. Justin with a 2-run homer. Oh, it did get up. No doubt about it. Home run number 16 gets him to 50 RBIs. Chris Young with a fly ball. Chris Coughlin with a circuitous route into the triangle, comes up empty, and then Tony Clark, the veteran, stomping on around the diamond like an elephant out there. Career RBI number 824. Brian Sanchez takes the baseball. He has done very good work this year when called upon. A 1.37 ERA. And the right-hander, because of an injury,
he'll get as long as he wants. Okay, he's ready.
He does look like he's just about ready, actually. Taking a look ahead at the rest of the series, brought to you by our good friends with the Miller Brewing Company. Ricky Nolasco may be 6-6 with a 5.42, but don't tell the Diamondbacks that. He has been a guy that has been a thorn in their side. Dan Herron has been a thorn in everybody's side. Number 1 in the National League in ERA. One last chance to make a pitch to start Major League Baseball's All-Star game.
Yeah, he should have plenty of rest for that All-Star game. I think he's right. Dan Harrison, maybe if he starts, have him go like 5 or 6 innings. Don't you?
Tomorrow?
No, in the All-Star game.
No, not going 5 or 6 innings.
Why not?
They only go about 2 starters. Not 5 or 6.
I'll bet you your father pitched more than 2 innings in an All-Star game before.
I think I'd have to look back. He was the MVP of the 1977 All-Star game in Yankee Stadium.
I know Steve Stone, friend of the show. He threw 3 perfect innings in an All-Star game.
That 77 game, the 1977 All-Star game. Maybe he threw 3 innings. Maybe it was just 2 scoreless. Thinking back, taking a look here, taking a peek. 3 innings. Taking a look, 3 scoreless innings, 4 strikeouts in the 77 All-Star game.
See what I mean? So I think he can go these 3. Sanchez looks like he's ready.
Well, they already know the signs, so maybe Baker ought to hustle back. 6-0 the score.
There we go. There's Dan Herring. He's ready to go. He's already asked Charlie Manuel if he can maybe throw a CG in the All-Star game. Complete game. Don't know if he'll get that or not.
Boy, that'd be a real thrill for all the other pitchers who make the trip.
2 on, 1 out. Chris Young, he's already driven in a couple tonight. Looking to extend. Boy, very shocked that play didn't work.
Chris, 4 hits in his last 12 at bats with runners in scoring position. A triple, a couple of doubles, and 8 RBIs. Trying to get that batting average. You saw the happy birthday Miguel Montero signs, by the way. Happy birthday to Miggy.
Well, you know what that means. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miguel.
Montero,
happy birthday to you.
Little topper to the right side.
That'll do it.
There's an RBI for Chris Young.
That's all it takes right there.
Ara moves up to second base, and that is run number 7. The Diamondbacks lead 7-0.
That's all it takes. Just a little cue shot off the end of the bat. And that is an RBI. The batting average will come down, Darren Sutton, but that RBI will stay there for the rest of his life.
Get that batting average up over 200 and keep it there.
Yeah, you definitely want that.
Nothing like 4 days off. I mean, an extra day for the All-Star game.
That's kind of the going rate anymore. You're getting, it seems to be more and more. It's a 4-day break now when it was always a 3-day break when I played.
Especially for the host team, the host city. They'll be the ones, and that's where the Diamondbacks start. But Chris Young, with those 4 days, I would imagine you're a little bit more restful if you go in a little bit hotter. You know, and even though that RBI, you're right, a team RBI, you'd love to have that average up over 200 and rising. Tony Clark gives it a ride center field. Had that sound when he got under it just a little bit as Cody Ross is there. 7-0, the Diamondbacks lead. AT&T, the nation's fastest 3G network. AT&T, your world delivered. Our game summary to this point: Yusmeiro Petit, a strike thrower and a very solid pitcher on a night in which he had to be for his spot in the game, because it was going to be a short leash, and for his spot on the roster. He needed this tonight. He needs to continue to throw well.
I think he needs to keep it going. He's fighting for his big league life.
Broke his bat, half the bat, a jagged edge goes into the short area in front of Mark Reynolds.
Thank goodness that one didn't get all the way out to Mark Reynolds.
Boy, those bats are safe.
Nothing's safe about this.
Unbelievable.
Javelin just goes flying. Thank goodness it didn't reach Mark Reynolds. Boy, I just hate those maple bats. Hate them with a passion. Unfortunately, a couple times this year we've seen fans get hurt. Look at that. Are you kidding me? Look how that thing just breaks. I mean, that's a spear.
Oh, and 1 the count to Jorge Cantu. Petit is a guy that rarely, if ever, rolls up ground balls. A big-time fly ball pitcher. 1 double play this year. So he'll take a step off. He's kept the ball a little bit more on the ground, and his air outs have landed in gloves.
Oh, good change up there to move to 0-2.
24-year-old right-hander out of Maracaibo in Venezuela. Pitched for the Florida Marlins. In the big leagues for Florida. In 2006. That one is belted deep left field, and the home run strikes again. Didn't want to mention it until it happened, but it has been a big-time bugaboo for this young right-hander throughout his young career. The long ball.
You hate to give up a long ball, especially on an 0-2 pitch. Goodness gracious. That's just too fat of a pitch. And you've got the hitter. Got him by the seat of the pants. I would imagine Mel Stottlemyre immediately going to get people. Yeah, boy, what a. If you're the hitter, you're loving an 0-2 fastball, middle in, thigh high. And Cantu makes him pay. Doug Slayton getting ready in the bullpen.
Out to third, Mark Reynolds shoots it on across. Ross is erased. Jorge Cantu had gone 29 games and 114 at bats without a home run before that one sailed out. His power had started to dissipate. Well, not that time. Home run number 10.
And that one was killed.
Petit, throughout his big league career, has struggled with a long ball. In 167 and a third innings, he has given up 40 home runs. A home run every 17 at bats against opposing batters. That one is true. That one is deep. That one adds to the resume. That one is swimming as well.
You got to be really careful now if you're A.J. Hinch and just how much longer you want to stay with Yusmeiro Petit. And he is throwing an 0-2 fastball right in the middle of the plate. Long ball. Now a slider. Goodness gracious. I mean, center cut, and Hermida blasts it out of here. Nice play.
Wow.
Now, does that go as a splash?
Oh, you bet.
All right.
You bet. How's that hand feeling?
That's a great play.
So Petit.
Yusmeiro Petit's going to be removed.
That home run comes back together. You that fan out there? That play I just made is going to be on the final score, he said, later on tonight.
It should be.
Oh, you are, sir. Unfortunately, you hope the final score is positive for Petit. Pitched well enough to win it. Now his bullpen will have to bail him out. Baseball's biggest stars go head-to-head in the summer's biggest event. Fox brings you every thrilling moment of the 2009 Major League Baseball All-Star Game. Coverage begins Tuesday live from St. Louis at 5 o'clock, only on Fox. Doug Slayton takes the baseball, the southpaw, recently up from Reno. And Chad Tracy part of the double switch. Tracy bats 9th, Slayton bats 7th, and the pitch is away. 1-0 the count to John Baker.
Doug Slayton, another guy pitching for his big league life. He's going to have to start getting some results here at the major league level. He got a fastball. He beat Baker with it.
One and one the count. Petit living by the creed of all pitchers that get a big lead. You don't walk people, but still pitch selection, he will tell you, and location turned out to bite him. Need to keep throwing strikes, not walking people, but understand he is a guy that has to walk the tightest of tightropes.
That one's going to get out of play as well. Right over the Diamondback dugout. I'm sorry, go ahead. Baker got a fastball right down the middle. He was disgusted with himself that he couldn't do more with it.
Petit looks disgusted with himself. Sorry about that.
Well, no, that's and it's understandable. You know, Yusmael's not an overpowering guy. Yeah, he gave up a broken bat base hit to Ugla, but then the 0-2 pitch to Cantu, that's the one he's got to be really regretting right now, that he didn't do a little better job locating that one. Just a fastball down the middle. It ended up being a home run. Doug Slayton had him all set for his slider. He just yanked it and missed badly with it. It's 3-2. Here to the left-handed hitting Baker. These are the guys that Doug Slayton has to get out.
So a moment ago, our Quest high-speed internet, high-speed pitch. Petit has to be careful. These are the guys you're right. He has to get out.
Nobody getting loose in the Diamondback bullpen, so this is Doug Slayton's inning, whether it be left-handers or right-handers like Big Tex on deck.
It almost rhymes. 3-2. Lifted left field. Parr racing. He is there. He's got room. Want to thank all of you again on behalf of Mark Reynolds. He wanted all of us to pass along all the support you've given him over the last couple of days, including young Austin Walker, who was our designated voter the other night. He came up here, young man, going into 11th grade, was a gentleman and a scholar, and he took it a step further. He said, on Tuesday, July 7th, I had the unforgettable opportunity to go into the booth with you and Mr. Grace. Unfortunately, we all came up a little bit short. I wanted to say thank you so very much for this privilege of a lifetime.
I got an email from him as well, and it was not the same email. It was something completely different. It was personal to me, thanking me. And Austin, you are so welcome. It was a pleasure having you. Come on up anytime you want, pal. Because well, let's be honest, I get tired of Darren every now and then.
1-1 the count. Well, the feeling's mutual. 7-3 the score. That young man looks sharp with his hat on the right way. Enjoying the game backwards. Big Tex on the ground, and he's erased.
Nice job by Doug Slayton. That's good to see. Austin, where you at?
And obviously, Mark Reynolds fell short. But you might remember a couple of nights ago, we were sitting right here talking to our friend Christine, who filled out 50,000 All-Star ballots for the regular All-Star voting. Christine, we implored you to come up with hundreds and hundreds of votes online for Mark Reynolds. How many did you wind up casting?
I ended up probably about 2,200.
2,200?
2,200.
How long did that take?
About 3 hours.
Did you know that he lost by 2,201 votes? I'm only kidding. I understand that you were actually spending like hours on the computers that were here yesterday in the concourse.
Yes, I was.
2,200 votes.
2,200.
Are you disappointed that Mark didn't come in first?
Disappointed. I wish there was something else that I could do.
But this is kind of interesting because you were actually voting for Pablo when you realized that Mark was kind of out of it. Can you explain why?
I didn't actually start voting for Pablo. I was thinking maybe.
About it?
I was thinking maybe I should, and then I was like, no. I want to still try to get Mark in there, so I just kept voting for Mark.
Well, why were you considering Pablo? Because?
Just because he's a great person and he's a really good athlete, and I figured, well, you know, if we can't get Mark in there, I'd rather see Pablo.
And it was a vote against Shane.
Yes, absolutely.
See, that's how this goes, guys. That's what I was trying to get out of it. That there was a little negative campaigning there. Well, Christine, we just applaud your efforts. We applaud everything about you, as a matter of fact. 50,000 votes times with another 2,200. That's extraordinary, Christine.
Thank you. And I just want to say to Mark, hey, I did everything I could. I wish I could have got you in there.
Wow.
You don't have to apologize to me, Chris.
Not you, Mark.
No, it's Mark Grace. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I wasn't sure where she was going with that.
Okay.
Christine, thank you very much.
Okay, thank you.
We'll stop by from time to time out here by the bullpen.
Well done, guys. Well done, voters out there. We've been hearing from all of them. 2,200 votes and an apology to Mark Grace. 0-1 the count.
She owes me no apology. That was nice of her to think of me, though, while she was doing all that voting.
Yep. Actually, she was thinking about Mark Reynolds. Meantime, Luke Carlin picked up a base hit during the conversation. Carlin 1 for 3.
First one of the year for him.
Gets in there. Yes, you're right. He was 0 for 10.
Attaboy, Luke. Got the two-flapped helmet.
Switch hitter just figures I'll go old school. Easier to travel with just one.
Think back of some of the two-flap guys. Shane Victorino, the villain. He's got the two-flapped helmet.
I had forgotten that was his nickname. I'm glad you reminded me.
No, he's no longer the Flying Hawaiian. He is officially now the villain around these parts. Remember Willie McGee?
You bet.
He had a two-flapped helmet. Terry Pendleton, former MVP for the Braves. He had a two-flapped helmet. And Luke Carlin. Old friend of ours, Orlando Hudson, also wears a two-flapped helmet.
He's an all-star. Little hit and run going on. Carlin has to pick up the baseball and get back. And he does.
Second baseman Felipe Lopez.
There's a no-flapped helmet.
I think Chip would look better with a two-flapped helmet out there.
I think he should take one out there. Matter of fact, I'm going to talk to him about that. You know what? Maybe tomorrow night, maybe wear two flaps. Maybe Luke Carlin will let you wear his.
Felipe Lopez takes a fastball from Sanchez. Lopez helping to add on as the Diamondbacks piled on yesterday.
And I love the Felipe Lopez bat flip.
He can flip the bat, boy, I'll tell you.
That's big league.
Works best with a homer. We've seen it with a double.
And a couple of singles as well.
Carlin driven back to the bag. Carlin began his career as a Tigers draft pick, 10th round out of Northeastern University. He was born in Maryland, makes his home in Quebec up in Canada. Matter of fact, up to represent the Canadian national team in the World Baseball Classic.
Getting a lot of attention from Sanchez.
Three runs, 6 hits, and an error for the Marlins. They've stranded 5, 7 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Diamondbacks. They have stranded 3.
What's going on? All right. Mr. Sanchez, you now officially have to throw the ball to the plate. Here we go. Go on, young man. You can do it. He didn't get the timeout call, and the call, the pitch stands, the call's a ball. As a hitter, yeah, you can call timeout, but the umpire does not have to give it to you.
That's what Chuck's saying there, hollering from the dugout. Wasn't that time? And he said, no, I hadn't granted time.
So you can call timeout all you want, but until you hear the umpire say timeout, you better be ready.
And an even 300 is Felipe Lopez. The All-Star waits his opportunity. Two and two the count. Fly ball over to his left is Conlon. He is there and he makes the play for the out. Retreating is Carlin. And now Augie Ojeda. He has singled and scored. Rounded out a couple of times. Augie in his 36th start of the season for the Diamondbacks.
Trying to find a way to extend the inning and get Justin Upton up there. Upton pulling out of his funk with a long ball and a single, but Augie needs to be that bridge. The bridge to Justin Upton.
That one misses away. 1-0 the count. Florida coming into play today with a record of 44 and 42. They were 2 games back of Philadelphia for the top spot in the National League East. Philadelphia beating Cincinnati 9-6. Just back that time is Luke Carlin. Two and 0 the count. Augie in 17 games in the month of April hit .325 with an on base of .404. You can see he has had a much stronger side. And he stands in it. Continuing to work on Luke Carlin.
What is going on here? All right, once again, Mr. Sanchez. Let's throw the baseball to the plate. He's a catcher. He's not going anywhere.
Augie, fly ball, well struck right. Rolling back, and it is Hernandez. He is there on the track to make the play for the out. Augie's erased. Luke Carlin, the speed demon, is stranded. Arizona Diamondbacks right now by 4. We were talking about Gonzalez earlier. What a man to study under. And Bobby Cox as his coach for quite some time on his staff. He shared what he has taken as a manager from the future Hall of Fame skipper.
The biggest thing I've learned is patience. He had patience with his players. He was consistent with his players. It didn't matter if you were 0 for 4 or 4 for 4, or 12, you know, whatever it was, he was going to give you an opportunity to keep failing in that spot. If you were the closer and you blew 3 in a row, well, you better be prepared to blow 4, because he's going to put you in that spot. He gave you that opportunity, knowing every day when you walked in, if you were the number 3 hitter, you were going to hit third. It didn't matter what, you know, what the week before it was or the day before it was.
Patience and consistency. Speak to that.
You know, your players, they're creatures of habit, and most players like to be, you know, it's consistency that matters. If you're an everyday player, if you're the everyday second baseman, well, you expect to play every day, and if you're not going to be told, you know, communicate that. But yeah, if you're the closer, or if you're the left-handed specialist, you better be prepared every day to be the left-handed specialist. Even if you had a bad day or a bad couple of days, you better be prepared that day to be successful. That's all a player can ask, is just consistently put me in those spots, and eventually you're going to get the results you want.
That one into left center field. It's down off the bat of Gonzalez. Andy is on the move, racing on around. Thinking about 3 just in case, as a bit of a small convention gathers around that baseball.
I don't know what happened with Chris Young out there. Either overran it or just whiffed it or something, but leadoff triple, and right back come the fish.
Left fielder Chris Cobb.
This ball is scalded into the gap. And Chris Young still looking a little ginger, can't get down there. And once it gets by him, now it's a triple. He's still feeling the effects of that groin injury, because he couldn't get that glove down and stop it. That's an extra 90 feet. So Doug Slayton going to have to pitch out of trouble. You got 9 outs left, Darren Sutton. .92-mile-an-hour fastball to the outside corner. That you can live with.
Gonzalez, we were speaking of his club trying to battle back and come back. That one is away with the slider. 2-1 the count.
Still hadn't thrown his slider for a strike yet. Hadn't found that release point. So he's having to live with his fastball right now.
The 2-1. Ian, 3-1 the count.
These are the guys that Slayton has to get out, the left-handed hitters. 3-1 now. Just turned into a one-pitch pitcher, and that's a fastball. Let's see if he can locate it and get an out.
Belter into left center field. It's down, and again will roll all the way to the wall. This time Young fires it back in. Coughlin, an aggressive base running tour. A triple and a double. And Esmerling Vasquez, it's about to go to work.
So Doug Slayton got out of the 6th inning, but back-to-back Rockets continue his tough performance at the major league level this year.
Vasquez is on. Honoring the music of Michael Jackson in the fireworks program tomorrow night. The Diamondbacks take on the Marlins at 6:40. Stick around and enjoy a free post-game fireworks show courtesy of Gila River Casinos. 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com. Esmerling Vasquez goes to work. The young right-hander in his last 11 appearances, an ERA of 2.70. Opponents hitting .231 against him his last 11 times to the mound. Started good, and then he slammed right into the wall.
Got to be careful of a bunt here. If you're the Diamondbacks, Bonifacio can fly, and yeah, he was thinking right along with me, wasn't he?
They are careful, I tell you. Even the pitcher has to be ready. Infielders cheat in, even in the middle of the infield. Reynolds on the grass at third. Boy, does that open up line drive space for him.
And you got to have some strikes if you're Esmerling Vasquez. You have to throw some strikes. In this situation, you're protecting a 3-run lead. You got to make Bonifacio swing the bat. All three.
Dan Uggla waits on deck.
Bonifacio finds his way on. That man is the tying run.
3-0. Ball four. Not even close.
Not even close. Well, Stottlemyre exasperated.
The Diamondbacks on the season a bullpen ERA of 4.69. 25 teams in Major League Baseball have a better bullpen ERA than that 4.69. Only the Rockies, the Angels, the Indians, and the Nationals have a higher bullpen earned run average. And both of these teams have had their fair share of come from behind victories. So you pick your poison with that. Do you want to be excited about it? Or do you stand here a little bit concerned at this point? I think it's the latter. That's exactly right.
Extremely concerned. Good slider to throw for a strike. That one buckled Uggla. Right now you're just looking somehow, some way to get some outs. You don't care how you get them. Strikeouts are great. Take a fly ball, just anything. Got to find a way to get through this. It starts by throwing strikes. Just missed down low the slider.
That's a good pitch right there. He laid off because it wasn't a pitch he could do nothing with anyway. And Uggla was 2 for 10 in the stop in San Francisco for these Marlins with a home run.
Six miles an hour.
And just running it in. 2 wicked pitches back to back. This is the pitch before. You lay off because there's nothing you would do with it, and you pray that it's a ball. Reached 100 home runs as a second baseman in 509 games. Quicker than Alfonso Soriano did as a second baseman. 536. Ground ball, base hit, left field. They'll stop the runner. Bases loaded. Nobody out.
Big break there, but they stopped. Coughlin at third. Bo Porter, the third base coach. Held the stop sign up, a hanging slider. Had him 1-2. He just hangs one right in the middle of the plate. Dan Uggla bangs it in the hole. And very fortunate are the Diamondbacks, as Mel Stottlemyre going to go to the mound. Try to find a magic push to get somebody out this inning. Doug Slayton gave up 2 rockets. Esmerling Vasquez comes on. Walk, base hit, and unfortunately, Clay Zavadu looked like he might have a night off. Going to have to get loose because the combination of Slayton and Vasquez ain't getting it done.
All right, Jorge Cantu, as we mentioned earlier, he had gone an awful long time without a long ball. He got his long ball back in the 6th inning against Yusmeiro Petit. Talk about some TNT. I mean, how dangerous this explosion will be if he would have hit another. He has done it twice in his career. Pours a fastball in there for a strike. Cody Ross waits on deck, nowhere to put Jorge Cantu. Bases loaded on the corner. This was in the 6th inning.
That was on an 0-2 pitch. That one went deep in the seats. He sits 0-2 as we speak right now. Let's see if Vasquez can improve on the 0-2 quality.
He's got the right arm to do it. On 0-2.
Over the change up there and left it inside.
The 1-2. Down the line it goes on a slider and into the seats it goes on a souvenir. Nice play made on the phone, making the play. Oh yeah, I just caught a foul ball. Anyway.
There's a nice play. Bring your glove. Make a play. Honey, game going a little bit long. Don't worry, I'll be home. Yeah, oh, wait. Hold on just a minute. Let me grab this.
1-2 the count. Fastball spoiled. That one a souvenir as it rockets up and then back down below. Fans enjoying a baseball to take home. Another one. That fan not on the phone. Fan visiting from New Mexico ending up with that ball. That gentleman, not quite sure where he's from. I'm sure his friends will call and tell him, get off the phone.
And he gave it to his kid.
Oh, man, is that great.
Great stuff. Nice going.
1-2. Out front with a slider. It's popped up and it's shallow. Racing in as Parra called off by Chris Young. Not deep enough. And a big out. And that's 1.
Remember, Bo Porter, the third base coach for the Marlins, held up Coughlin at third base. And after 1 out, he's still at third base. He could have easily scored on that base hit by Dan Uggla.
Cody Ross this year has 3 Grand Slam home runs. 5 in his career. He has 3 this year. Hanley Ramirez has 3. He has sat up at the table and done a lot of eating when the bases have been full.
Nice slider. That one buckled him, stayed on the inside corner.
Jeremy Hermida waits on deck. I told you earlier, Ross in his career has been a Diamondbacks killer. Topper out toward third, foul ball. He was on the bag just in case when he fielded that ball. So now the count 0-2. Cody Ross, a .345 career hitter against the Diamondbacks with 4 home runs in 58 at-bats.
Well, back-to-back hitters now. 0-2 count. Roscoe's got Cantu to chase a slider out over and pop him up now. Let's see what he does with Cody Ross on an 0-2 pitch.
Oh, 0-2 the count. And now Ross steps out. Somebody find where the anchor is and go ahead and let's pull it in, get it on the boat so we can get moving here.
Parachute pulled, anchor dropped.
Yes. The 0-2. Nice job. Carlin putting his nose on that one. 1-2 the count. Cal gets behind Vasquez, the 1-2. Hot shot, Lopez. There's one. On the first, double play! And don't forget, Chris Coughlin was at third when that double play was turned.
We're going to show a little bit more of that later on, but you know what? Good things happened right there. Vasquez gets that big double play with the bases loaded. Still got some baseball to play, though.
Yeah, that's in his digging in statement. We'll stick around after the game. We'll see you guys in just a bit right here at the Diamond Club.
And Mark Grace, you were eyeing the situation with third base coach Bo Porter, the single by Dan Uggla into left field. Chris Coughlin was held up at third. Bo Porter making that decision.
Well, Bo Porter is a former teammate of mine with the Chicago Cubs. I know him very well. But this ball is just a clean base hit, and this is great speed in Coughlin. He could have easily scored on that. Parra wasn't even thinking that he could come to the plate. So that's a run right there that was really being conceded. Instead, he ended up not scoring Darren Sutton. So now You got to score 3 runs instead of 2 runs, and trust me, that is a big, big difference. Oh, look who's on the mound, Darren Sutton. Kiko Calero.
Kiko Calero is back. He was returned from rehab. AAA New Orleans battling arm problems, and he's back. He can throw some sliders.
Oh, he is the guy I call the human slider machine. He's got a good one.
Had a right shoulder inflammation, cost him some time.
Throwing a lot of sliders. There it is.
Sunday hop there, Justin Upton, and a nice dig by Jorge Cantu. And Upton, a homer, a couple of ground outs, a single as well, a couple of runs scored.
Third baseman Mark Reynolds.
Mark Reynolds, the Home Depot, doing more on defense. He's been doing more with just about everything this season. Love this play. In the first inning.
Yeah, the kid's had a heck of a first half.
And just so you folks know, I just finished the paperwork on an official appeal of the voting.
Did you?
And so it's not over. Ken Digger Phelps will have more on that in the postgame.
Digging in.
Oh, he's going to help me understand it.
Marlins fans even voting for
See?
the sheriff. Now, those guys are great fans. Ooh, boy, he got buckled by a slider. He's going to throw him. Might as well look for it there, Mark Reynolds.
For the Marlins, good to see their 2 fans made the trip out.
Well, they have 3. They got those 2 guys and the Chewbacca guy.
Oh, I remember him.
McClure and him had a very in-depth interview.
That's right. There was if you folks remember, there was a gentleman in South Florida where it's not very comfortable temperature-wise. In a full-blown Chewbacca costume with a Marlins jersey on. Mark McClure, when he went to interview him, there they are. Those 2 and Chewbacca are the big fans. When Mark went to interview him, is that one blown right by? When you're looking for a slider, that'll happen. The Chewbacca costume, there's another Marlins fan, so I guess there's 4, 5 of them.
Beautiful ladies wearing their Marlins. What was that, teal? Is that teal? What color is that? It's teal. I think we remember her from a couple of years ago. Didn't she have a car sign?
They made signs in South Florida.
That's right. We know them. Hi, ladies. Good to have you with us.
And that slider is high, 1-0 the count. Anyway, Big Mac had asked if he could wear the Chewbacca costume, put the head on. I found that a little bit troubling.
Well, it certainly made me uncomfortable.
Love Big Mac, loved having him on the trip, but the last thing I'm wanting to do when I speak to someone in South Florida wearing a full-blown costume at a game
is put on his sweaty, rotting mask.
Big Mac. Bouncing ball to the right side. Calero with a basket full of sliders gets it done. Florida Marlins still a little concerned about that memory. Host 2 world championships. Fun fans, that's the Chewbacca we are talking about. And you know he will make the move over to the new ballpark set to open in 2012 on the Orange Bowl site. Freddie Gonzalez is a native of South Florida, is of Cuban descent. Played independent league ball down there in Miami, managed down there, coached down there as well. And Freddie Gonzalez looks forward to the future. He's proud to be a part of it, knowing his heritage.
I'm lucky enough. There's only 30 jobs in the major leagues, and to manage the major leagues is a great thing, and then also to manage in the town that you grew up in. That makes it so much more fun, so much better. And now we got a shovel on the ground for 2012, and hopefully in the Spanish community down there in the Miami area. I think we got a good thing going here with some young players, and we got some young players coming through our minor league systems that are very talented.
He's got some history there.
That's awesome. Where'd you grow up, Darren?
Southern California.
Southern California. Can you imagine if you were the manager of the Dodgers or the Angels? Two
Absolutely.
teams you loved growing up.
Down goes Augie Ojeda.
And right back come the Fish here in the top of the 8th inning. Right back up the box. Augie can't flag it. And a leadoff base runner.
Groundbreaking of that new stadium as you see the numbers on Gutierrez in late March. Loved how he said it. There's been a shovel in the ground. 2012. John Baker takes away 1-0 the count. It's going to be nice, I'll tell you that. They're not going to be playing in Land Shark Stadium anymore. 1-1 the count. According to the Sun Sentinel in South Florida, by the way, they are estimating the cost of that new ballpark. It's hard to believe. At $2.4 billion.
What?
The 1-1.
Come on. Yeah, the new Yankee Stadium didn't even sniff that much money. $2.4 billion. Oh. Looking forward to going there. That picture in $2.4 billion. It's going to bring you a big league ballpark to South Florida. Holy mackerel. Oh, those Florida taxpayers.
That one is in. In his last 7 outings, Gutierrez an ERA of 2.16. Prior to that, he was knocked around. He had gone 2 1/3, given up 9 earned runs. So last 7 certainly much better of the 10 overall.
Let's see if he can get a ground ball on this 3-2 pitch. Got to throw strikes. Got to make him swing the bats.
Just kind of piecing this together, Gracie. The total. It's kind of like a 30-year mortgage because the $409 million in bonds that will build the stadium, primarily anyway. The payments will be spread out over 40 years. Kind of like when you pay all that interest on a 30-year mortgage. That one is away. That's ball 4. Enough ballpark talk because in this ballpark with its own retractable roof, things getting uncomfortable again. And look who is called upon to pinch hit.
Hanley Ramirez. Juan Gutierrez has dug himself a nice quick hole. And just like that, a base hit and a walk brings up the tying run again. And nobody getting loose in the Diamondback bullpen. There it is. Gutierrez, as was Slayton, as was Vasquez in front of him. Well, not anymore. Somebody's going to have to get loose. Because Hanley Ramirez is now striding into the batter's box. One of the best young players in all the game.
Voted as the starting shortstop in Major League Baseball's All-Star game this year. Has been battling hit problems. He has 6 home runs in his last 12 games in which he has played, including 2 grand slams. One and 0. You can see where he ranks.
Well, Stottlemyre making another trip to the mound.
He's got Schoenweiss starting to warm in the pen.
Well, this game has really gotten ugly.
It's always pretty, even if it's ugly, if you end up as the victor.
Yeah, just
with the pace.
Yeah, the crispness has ended.
Last played in the game, Ramirez did on July 4th. Hitting .438 in his last 12 games.
Oh, baby, he challenged him right down the middle. Ramirez with a bit of a grimace there, but I guess he's okay. He had a good rip at it, didn't he?
Had a good rip. He has been having good rips a lot this year. The leading hitter in the major leagues with runners in scoring position. The 1-1.
Right after him again, 95. That time Ramirez could only take it. That was a quality pitch there, right at the knees. Going to do nothing with that one.
34 for 74 with runners in scoring position, a .459 batting average. The 1-2. Right there, it stays in front of him. His last 24 times he has been called upon to hit with a runner in scoring position, he has 16 hits.
346 coming into the game. This kid can mash. Freddie Gonzalez looking for a way to use him tonight. Finally found the reason.
The 2-2. Low.
Trying to be too fine once he got to 2 strikes. Missed with the slider, then missed with the fastball. Now he put Ramirez right back in the king position.
Ross Glode has a bat. He waits on deck. The pitcher spot due up next. Ramirez hitting for Wes Helms.
Got to throw a fastball here, don't you? Got to throw a strike. Let's see if he gets away with it. Oh, he went with the breaking ball. That's going to break a bat. Ramirez just able to nick that one foul. Went with the breaking ball. Gutsy pitch right there. Right off the end of the bat it goes. We'll get some new lumber. Good pitch.
So the All-Star gets ready to go again. Full count, nobody out. And he replaced, looks on. Hot shot, base hit, right field. Stop the runner at third. Base is loaded, nobody out. Let's walk through this at bat.
Well, you missed. Then it gets pretty good here. You get a fastball for a swing and strike, a fastball for a called strike. Then he misses badly with a slider, misses badly with a fastball. Now you got to come to him. This is really a good job by Ramirez of hanging in there. And he banged it into right field. And Juan Gutierrez is going to be removed from this game. Boy, A.J. Hinch got to be pulling his hair out right now.
Downtown Phoenix, Arizona. It's hot outside. It's now officially hot inside. Scott Schoenweiss with the bases loaded with nobody out. The left-hander had a nice run, certainly. Adrian Gonzalez, he saw him last time he got him. He got Todd Helton twice in succession with strikeouts at Coors Field. He now has to deal with Ross Claude. You can see Hermida as their bases are loaded all the way around. Hermida is at third base with Baker and Hanley Ramirez at first. Hanley Ramirez now 17 for his last 25 with runners in scoring position.
That's ridiculous. Oh, here we go, Darren. Come on. Let's get a little excited. We've been moping around up here all night.
Let's go.
Come on.
Here goes Scotty. He goes to work, as he likes to do. Buries a fastball in. That's been his pitch of choice a lot. Helps him set up soft away.
Very well done. Ran it right in there and just tied up Ross Claude. Strike one always important when you come in and face that first guy, especially with lefty on lefty. Opens up your arsenal.
Played to pull a bit on the infield. Bouncing ball. It's a foul ball. Right back in there.
Bullied him right back inside with that fastball. If you hit it on the barrel, all you're going to do with that is pull it foul. So, two quick fastballs right in on the belly button of Ross Claude to jump ahead 0-2.
Lane Boyer warms in the pen. The 0-2. Broke his bat, rolled out to Felipe Lopez. There's one. That's all they'll get. It's now 7-5. Runners on first and third, one out there. So Glode reaches fielder's choice. You can give him an RBI as well.
Just off the end of the bat, shrapnel it is, but Felipe does a good job of getting the lead runner. Keeps the double play in order. We're going to have another pinch hitter.
Pinch hitting for Chris Conlon, number 25, Brett Carroll.
Brett Carroll now with a chance. Two home runs and 6 RBIs. Hitting .257. One and 0 the count on Carroll.
Got him to chase a high fastball, even to count 1-1. Just a young guy right there, and Brett Carroll just a little over anxious in a big spot. So now instead of a 2-0 count, he sits at 1-1. Sean Weiss peers in, looking to get that ground ball double play.
The 1-1 to Carroll. What a job by Carlin.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, what a block. Oh, you're kidding me. Saving a run, keeping the double play in order. Somehow, some way, he corralled it, kept it right at his feet. Remember that play. If the Diamondbacks end up winning this game, remember that play right there. It should be 7-6 with a runner on second base right now. What a play.
2-1 the count. Ian, 3-1 the count.
Sean Weiss making life difficult now. Falling behind 3-1. Going to have to throw a fastball. Let's see if he can get it around the kneecaps and get that ground ball he so desperately needs.
The 3-1. High drive, deep left field, going back as far to the wall, and it's gone. And the Florida Marlins lead. It was 7-0 Arizona when the Marlins went to hit in the 6th inning. 7-0, and the Marlins lead it 8-7. Another look at the pitch.
Probably a fastball right in the middle of the plate. Oh, yeah. Carroll got it. That's the dangerous part of trying to go inside in a fastball count. The hitter's looking fastball, and if you don't get it in there, it's going to get hit a long ways. And boy, did it ever. Stunned silence here at Chase Field. 7-0 3 innings ago.
Prior to that, Carroll was 1 for 22 in his career as a pinch hitter.
Wow.
First ever pinch hit home run. Bouncing ball. Augie Ohana can't make the play. Wouldn't have been able to make the play. Not with Bonifacio running.
Well, we'll never know.
Second baseman Dan Pudlow.
Just didn't get his glove down. Right over the top of it, it goes. we're going to get another pitching change.
Alex Romero will trot to the outfield, part of a double switch. They were down 7-0, these Florida Marlins.
Going into the 6th inning.
Should they happen to hold on and win it, it's only a comeback if you hang on to win it. But if they do, they will have experienced the largest come-from-behind win in franchise history. A franchise that has won 2 world championships. 8-7. The ballpark. Don't forget, check your score at freecreditreport.com. The out-of-town scoreboard brought to you by our good friends and partners. Roy Halladay pitched well, unfortunately. Not enough. 3-2 the loss there. Tim Lincecum leading in the ball game, trying to win the ball game. Scoreless inning streak. You can see he is trying to send that shot over the bow towards Dan Heron, who goes tomorrow. As the Florida Marlins, we talked about trying to match one of the largest comebacks in team history. Brett Carroll getting that arm loose. Some of that heat on the arm. I might have to go in and play somewhere.
Now we're going to have a meeting on the mound.
It was 7-0 here. On June 28, 2003, it was 9-2. They trailed the Boston Red Sox in Boston, a game they won 10-9. They've been there and done that, but only one other time. They lead it 8-7. That was on the road as well. Boyer misses away. 1-0 the count. Douglas, a 3-hit night tonight, all singles. Scored back in the 6th inning on Jorge Cantu's home run. Better keep an eye on Emilio, and that one's thrown away. And off to the races he goes, easily speeding on around to third.
Now, big opportunity for these Florida Marlins to add on. Only one out. Diamondbacks going to have to bring their infield in. Try to cut the run off at the plate.
Bouncing ball, base hit left field. 5 runs in on the inning. 9-7, the Marlins lead it. 71 runs I should say allowed by the Diamondbacks. 71 in the 8th inning this year.
Just disgust on the look of A.J. Hinch.
And that one gift wrapped. Moving
Yeah.
all the way around easily to third.
Oh, yeah.
Infield has to come in, as you said. 1-0 the count. Chopper out to Reynolds, who throws it away. Lopez pulled off the bat. Another error.
Center fielder Cody
That just didn't set himself. Pulled Felipe off the bag and set him inning-ending double play. Another error on the Diamondbacks. And unfortunately, reverting back to last week.
Bouncing ball, Felipe can't make the play. Into center field, hustling on around. Lopez tried to play that one on the backhand, and that one played him.
Well, the ugliness continues here in the 8th inning. And a very happy Marlin dugout. And we got a meeting on the mound. Well, Stottlemyre going to come out and have a conversation with Blaine Boyer.
That's a hit,
I guess.
in your opinion? Around the bag, tougher to play, maybe?
Thinking maybe it might hit the bag. Yeah, I got to give that a hit.
Okay.
right fielder Jeremy.
All right, 6 runs are in.
But it's a play Felipe will make. At least more often than not. Or at least he should.
10-7 the score. Here's Jeremy Hermida. We get to see him twice here in the 8th inning. He singled. 0-1 the count. 7-0. The Diamondbacks led this game as they began play in the 6th inning. Bouncing ball, base hit, left field. Come on down, says Bo Porter. Racing on around and scoring is Cantu. Another run crosses the plate. 16 hits for these Marlins. 11-7 the score.
Yeah, we're going to see a few of these Marlins twice in this inning. That about says it all. So far here in the 8th, the extra point has been kicked.
John Baker, and the count is 1-0. Baker walked. Baker drives it into left field. Going back as Romero hits over his head off the base of the wall. Couple of Marlins race on around. They'll stop the runner at third. In Hermida. That one belted.
Boy, it was just less than 3 innings ago that Diamondback fans were dancing in the aisles, thinking things were in easy position for the 6th win in a row. Instead, well, they're in the aisles, all right, but they're headed for the exits. Wow. 8 runs across.
And now Hanley Ramirez hits for the 2nd time this inning. Pitches away. 1-0 the count. 17 hits for the Marlins. An improbable comeback to say the least. Rarely are you down 7-0 and then you feel like you may be pouring it on the opponent.
I don't blame you, honey.
Swings through that one. Carlin can't hang on, and another run scores. Running right through the glove there is Hermida, so Boyer loses his glove. (13-7) the score. Oh, what a frustrating inning.
Well, this has possibilities of, in tomorrow's box score, parentheses in the 8th inning. You don't ever want to see parentheses in the box score, the line score, the following day. That's what happens when you score double figures in an inning.
The 9 runs in the inning, a new franchise record for the Florida Marlins. Infield comes in. Outside, 2-2 the count. The 12th Marlin to hit in this inning. And he's hanging around. He's not about to. He was called upon to pinch hit. He's saying, man, I didn't think I'd get a second at bat. I was just seeing how my hip felt. It's like a dream come true for a guy like Hanley Ramirez, who well lives to hit and has missed the last couple of days. Hasn't played since July the 4th with hip problems. In, has him tap dancing out of there. 3-2.
I was beginning to wonder when something like that might happen.
Make you move your feet a little bit.
Let's find out how upset you get about 13 runs on 17 hits.
(3-2). He walked him. So now Ross Glode will hit.
He's made the only out this inning, Darren Sutton.
Number 7, Ross Glode.
I don't know if it's ever been done, but if he hits into a double play here, he'll make all 3 outs in 1 inning. And that might be cool on a night like tonight when things are pretty yucky.
Must admit, I tend to agree with you 100%.
And while the Florida Marlins are rewriting their record book, I'd like to see a little bit of history. Ross Glode, another former teammate of mine. Good kid. Good hitter. That might be cool, though.
He's not wanting that to happen. Now Bouncing ball. Let's see. Could it happen? All 3 outs. No way. He made a couple of outs, but he also has a couple of RBIs. And a double-digit inning for the Marlins. 14-7.
Number 25, Brett Carroll.
2 fielders' choices and 2 RBIs for Glow. And now Brett Carroll hits again. His 3-run homer. The big blast to put his team on top. 8-7. First ever pinch hit home run. His club, our club, A.J. Hinch's club, they had won 5 games in succession. That may be the more appropriate jersey at the ballpark tonight.
See if we can find a Cardinal jersey. Dolphins, Cardinals, 14-7. Late.
Reynolds sets. Tracy holds on. A 10-run 8th inning for the Marlins. Taking a look at our Nova Home Loans in-game box score, we've decided to go teal with this one, partner.
Holy macaroni. That's a lot going on in that one.
A lot of 4s and 5s and 3s. That is
mercy.
That's a big old bowl of Florida Marlin vegetable soup there. Everyone joining in the fun. Here's Chris Young to lead it off. A 10-run 8th inning. The Diamondbacks wrapped up 5 complete with a 7-0 lead. As a matter of fact, there's a great website, fangraphs.com. All sorts of statistical research, historical research about this great game of baseball as the left-hander Meyer misses high. And part of it, you remember this as you see Dan Meyer's numbers. It was part of the telecast a couple of years ago. The probability of victory or win probability. Take all games throughout history.
Yeah, I love that.
You tie it in. The win probability for the Diamondbacks in one inning went from 98% for the Diamondbacks to 99% for the Marlins.
All in that half inning.
Right there.
98 Diamondback. Now it's 99 Marlins.
So the Marlins believed with their 2% chance of winning the game. So the Diamondbacks, maybe they too can believe with their 1% chance.
Oh, man.
I knew you'd like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Inside, 3-1 the count from Meyer. Oh, yeah.
Well, how
Rally
did that
cap.
happen
I have
there?
no idea how that just happened.
7-0. Now you're down a touchdown. You know, all you can do is laugh. Let a smile be your umbrella, Darren Sutton.
Oh, that's well said.
Maybe time to throw the Hail Mary.
All right. That 1%. Here we go.
Here, yep.
Come on, you've been moping around the whole last half inning.
I'm sorry. You're right. Here we go.
By the way, some quick changes to point out defensively for posterity's sake. Hanley Ramirez stays in at shortstop, which is a nice test for him, actually. Emilio Bonifacio off to his left is now at third base. Out in left field, Jeremy Hermida is playing. As that one is away. And Carroll, who homered, is in right field. 0-1 the count to Alex Ramirez. All right.
Here we go.
0-2 the count.
99%.
I'll take my 1% chance and go for it.
I agree.
They had just a 2% chance at Visiting Club in gray, black, and teal. Their new $2 billion ballpark.
Boy.
There we go. That's what we're talking about. Get those rally caps off.
Look at Alex playing. Here we go, folks. We got our own Chewbacca.
There we go. Got the rally cap and the sign. I don't know if I've told you folks this, but we need more signs.
Glad you finally mentioned that.
It's about 2.5 years that you and I have worked together. I've been kind of sitting on it for a while.
Finally broke it out.
And they need to be come back from 7 runs down, please, signs. Oh, great question.
Boy, it just may be. Nah, we're going to have a meeting on the mound.
Oh, that's good.
Haven't had many of those tonight.
Sure, the folks in South Florida at 1 a.m. are enjoying this contest.
Yeah. It's been a barn burner. Chuck at home.
Ah, the fine song Miguel Montero used to have. Means party.
Disturbing.
In on the hands. That one back into the press box. And again, a terrible play by Mike McNally, Director of Media Relations. Been a tough night for these Diamondbacks, and they just didn't need that.
There he is. Very upset with himself. Should be.
Look at the dent in the wall behind. Right there up over its head. That's where the ball hit.
Underneath it. That's the ball mark.
Just came out from
there. Yep.
Up onto the desk. Hanging around. He's a good man, and he can do some research. He can line up interviews for you.
But he's got terrible hands.
I mean, a good guy, though.
Yeah, very good guy.
Love working with the guy. Travels with us. You're just in harm's way if he's nearby. One and two. In 2-2 the count. Meyer working carefully with that 7-run lead.
working very slowly. There's a rally hat. He believes.
Broke his bat, base hit, left field. All right, Mark Grace.
Boy, Darren. Yep, the pom-poms.
It's a probability now.
Yeah, right. Hey, Darren, guess what? We're going to have a meeting on the mound.
Oh, let's get together on the mound.
Yeah, come on, everybody.
By the way, to all our bosses and all you fine viewers, we respect you fine viewers, but to our bosses, for the rest of the telecast, all bets are off. So, who knows where we may take our car and drive it. Been one of those wild and woolly games.
We've been known.
We love you, bosses.
Now batting first baseman Chad
Mulkey,
Tracy.
she's a fabulous boss.
And we love her and respect her.
Or Mulkey Salazar. So many good ideas, contributions. We'll do our best. We're officially having fun now. Either have
And
fun.
we don't apologize for it.
Either have fun or put your head through the drywall. When you have a 10-run top of the 8th inning.
Chad Tracy gonna. Oh, he got his pitch and he missed it. He got his pitch and he missed it.
And Ramirez is there and he makes the play.
Well, he's gonna have dreams about that one. I mean, a first pitch fastball right down the middle. Golly, Chad Tracy, you were tardy with it. Popped it out.
Remember, Chad Tracy homered off him in South Florida. That wild and woolly doubleheader day on May 20th. Now, by the way, with regard to that win probability, the Diamondbacks just gained 1%.
Really?
98% chance now for the Marlins.
I always loved that win probability. It wasn't very big league.
Inside, 1-1 the count. Night like this, Mark Grace, when you pull for a comeback, you've got to say, anybody,
anytime.
1-1.
That was a terrible slogan.
Popped it up. Infield fly.
Shortstop, Augie Ojeda.
Meyer 1 out away from getting out of a big jam. Couple of pop-ups. Now Augie Ojeda trying to keep it going.
Down below, the chance getting going. Jim Weber starting up the Augie, oi, oi, oi.
Yep, I can see him down there. He's got an Augie sign.
One of our bosses.
And one of our friends.
Popped up.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Back up to 99%. his guests no matter what, and the guests here at the ballpark as well. Jack in the box, think outside the box. Grayson, they've been talented and creative. A homer and a catch and into the pool.
That was a great play.
A phone call, a glove.
That was an awesome play as well. Oh, hang on, honey, let me catch this. All right.
Yep.
I'm going to be home at about 11:30. As soon as the ball game ends.
Oh, no. I won't be too long. They're up 7-0. I may head out a little early, he said on the phone.
Yeah, that didn't quite happen.
Love them. They've done a great job here tonight. They've
good for these fans sticking through this.
Rode through the ups and the downs.
Wow.
Our goal, by the way, on this show, now, obviously, Blaine Boyer, we hope that he does his part. It's back up to 99%, so just a 1% chance in the win probability.
We've got to work on that.
Just trying to chip away. Maybe get it to 5%. Get it to 95. Then you got yourself a chance. The 1-0. 1-1. Good change up there. A Thursday at the ballpark. Place to cool off. Boy, they are geared up here, too. Great gear, these fans.
Where'd they get that gear?
Well, you know where they got it.
Probably the team shop, huh?
Our good friends look out over that dugout. Everyone looks to be all right. Love the team shop.
Jose Valverde making the play. Te amo, papa.
There it is. You can shop here at the ballpark at the team shop. Provided that jersey for our fine designated voter, Austin. Mark Reynolds jersey, just donated to the cause, and we appreciate their generosity. They got a lot of mentions in return. Value for value, we like to say on television. Also, shop online at dbacks.com, the shop. If you can't come down to the team shop, at the Justin Upton face paint. Slapper, foul ball. By the way, on dbacks.com, they have hats and T-shirts, jerseys. They have collectibles. Get team gear straight from the source. Visit dbacks.com. And when you hop on there, maybe double check and see if that final spot, maybe they've reopened the voting just in case. I haven't given up.
Looks like Hanley's probably fit to play.
He does look just fine.
Think he'll be ready for the All-Star game.
Augie up the ladder, still better ahead. A little bicycle pedaling as he went up.
Second baseman Dan Uggla.
Well, Augie, well, he jumps. He makes a nice play and gets the speedy Bonifacio as the chants begin again. Augie, 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 oi, oi, oi from Jim Weber.
Oh, he's laughing down there, too. He's quieted him down now.
Big Augie fan is Jim Weber. Ollie Simpson, also a friend of the show, down there leading some cheers with Jim Weber. Got the pom-poms.
That one is rolled foul. 0-2 the count. Settling in now.
There's
he was
Jimmy.
cheering a moment ago. Friend of this show and a friend of baseball fans. He was standing and belting out the Augies a moment ago. Good man. That one is away. Chicago Rays now makes his home in Arizona. Part of our group of leaders. Augie, Augie, Augie.
Oi, oi, oi.
He brought it to Arizona. Changeup and a dandy, and Uggla goes down on strikes.
And Boyer. Nice change up there to get Dan Uggla.
First baseman Jorge
He had a
Cantu.
4-hit night going. Still has a 4-hit night after he strikes out.
center field. 1% chance in the win probability.
You got to get that down.
Let's go grab some percentage points. We've already been robbed in the fan vote for Mark Reynolds. We need some percentage points. We need them after this.
And tribal music throughout the game. Plus, D-backs fitted caps will be given away to the first 25,000 fans at the game, courtesy of Gila River Casinos. Call 602-514-8400 or visit dbacks.com.
We move along to the bottom half of the ninth inning. Great read, by the way. And a great story here. Well, Brendan Donnelly back in the big leagues. Fought his way back and signed a minor league contract with Houston over the winter. 15 appearances last season with the Indians. He struggled mightily with Cleveland, had nearly a 9 ERA, but pitched very effectively in the minors for Houston. Down in AAA. Had an out clause in his contract at a certain point. He exercised it and signed with Florida. Is back in the big leagues trying to rebuild his career.
Yeah, it's good to have him back. Sorry he's going to give up 8.
That's well said.
99%. Is that right, Darren Sutton?
99. We're going to see if we can tick away at those chances.
Well, it all starts with Justin.
One and one the count. Justin fouls that one off a slider away. Donnelly, a member of both the Red Sox World Championship team in 07 and the Angels World Title team in 02. He's always had those trademark glasses, almost in goggle form, that athletic look. Bouncing ball. There we go. Chipping away.
Gonna get percentage points. Justin up in a 3-hit night.
Third baseman Mark Reynolds.
Just had a fan check in on D-backs booth on Twitter with the new key for the game. Of course, our good friends with the Power Chevy dealers. Brown and Brown, Superstition Springs. Skip the 8th inning.
For the rest of the year.
Well, for sure tonight.
Yeah.
Bouncing ball. Now this is why our fine fan that checked in with us wants to skip it.
Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yep. Just go ahead and skip it.
Ouch. That was the New key to the game submitted by Scott Yost in Pennsylvania watching.
Well, good to have Scott.
This, of course, is officially the only game left in the world being played right now in Major League Baseball.
It's ours! It's ours!
So viewers in Pennsylvania, they're checking in. Wonder where other folks are watching outside of the great state of Arizona.
Beautiful little girl there. She's watching intently as well with her sister. And they brought their gloves to the ballpark, waiting for a souvenir. As the Twins battle it out in the background.
The 0-2. Nice job. How about that? Good day from Adelaide in South Australia. They are checking in.
Good day.
Another nice job by Baker.
Even up 7 runs, he's out there battling, sacrificing his body, making the block. I like to call him Big Tex.
Probably not. Mark Reynolds hits it a mile high. Looking up to the roof.
Yeah, that one almost got up there in the rafters. Stephen Drew's going to get a look here. He's going to pinch hit for Blaine Boyer.
Stephen Drew, ground ball, chipping away at percentage points. Justin draws the throw to third, makes it in there, bang it into the bag. Runners on first and third.
Trying to get those percentage points. Come on, Darren.
But chipping away, it hasn't changed yet. Rally caps are on. Cameron Webb has checked in online. He's watching in Minneapolis, where tonight the Twins lost to the Yankees.
Again.
And Kurt Zacher, our fine statistician in charge up here, very upset. Senior member of the booth.
How'd my guy Joe Mauer do tonight?
That one is fouled right up above the governor's head next door.
Candyman almost made a play. Governor never looked up from the meaty guy.
Oh boy.
Third up to first base.
Just thank goodness that Mike McNally, fine media relations director, or Steve Gilbert, MLB.com writer, were not around. Someone would have gotten hurt. Two of the worst defenders in press box history. 0-1. There's Mike. Boy, it's been a tough year defensively. Popped up right side. Justin draws the throw, trying to get a run and maybe a percentage point.
Not going to happen.
Left fielder Alex Romero.
Now with 2 outs in the ninth and a 7-run deficit, it takes a lot of chipping to knock some percentage points off. Stephen Drew moves up now. A single.
Get you within 5.
But it will really help with the percentage points.
Will it? Okay.
Couple of runs off. I think that may drop you down to 97%. We'll see, though. 14-7, Alex Romero. Grabs the outside. Dan Herron is on the mound. That's good news, certainly. Against Ricky Nolasco, who has been tough against Arizona. That one misses in. Driven into left field, over to make the play and make it 100%. Is Hermida. A 7-0 lead. Ended the 5th inning. The Florida Marlins with 10 runs in the 8th win it 14-7. Hard to explain, but we'll talk about it in the postgame show. Florida 14, Arizona 7. Postgame show gets underway right now.